It's the most wonderful time of the year here on E+ TV6 as it is the Gulf South Conference quarterfinals. And today, the Union Lady Bulldogs, number 10 in the nation, coming in at 26-2. They're going to host the West Alabama Tigers. I'm joined by the head coach of the Union Lady Bulldogs, Coach Mark Campbell. And Coach, first off, your team coming off of a very high-scoring win against Christian Brothers, 94-86. What were your thoughts on how your team performed that night?
Can we just back up just a second here? The most wonderful time of the year. I thought that was Christmas when Jesus was born.
Well, yes,
Okay.
but also March Madness.
All right, I just trying to get some clarification. One of the things that we've got to get better at right now is having some depth. We have to have some people come up and play more minutes than what they've been used to playing, and so I'm looking forward to seeing how we respond to that.
And especially last game, Morgan Martin coming off of a career-high 29 points, adding in 11 rebounds, named to the Gulf South Conference All-First Team here just today. And how big of a factor will she play tonight, especially facing a team that has a lot of post depth?
Yeah, she's got to stay out of foul trouble. Last time she did not do that. I think we ended up playing the last 6 minutes of the fourth quarter without her. Played pretty well, but that was when we had Kennedy being able to back her up.
And heading into tonight, especially with Kennedy Childers out for tonight, playing this very talented West Alabama team. Their record doesn't show it. They've lost their last 4 games, but this is a team that on any given night they can compete against the best teams in the conference. What was the emphasis in practice this week as you were preparing for West Alabama?
Well, we have some matchup problems with them at the 4 and 5 because they're so athletic, and so we just got to go over their stuff a bunch. They played really well against us last time, shot 50% from the field and 50% from 3, which is rare for them to do, and 70% from the foul line. And so if they would expect to shoot that well on most nights, they're going to win those games. Last time we did a really good job of handling the basketball. I think we had 18 steals against them, something like that. So we've just got to do a better job defensively against them.
And they're a team that really shares the love when it comes to scoring. They've got experience at Tasia Garrett-Hammett, but they also have a talented freshman guard in Bria Dent. The guard play is something that, for West Alabama, they've really come on strong here in the past few games. What are your experienced guards in Jada Perkins and Jada Smith? What do they need to do to contain them?
Well, you just mentioned 2 people that are playing the 4 and 5 for them, but they're guards, and so that's where our matchups are difficult, and so we have to be a lot more compact, be able to help a little bit more on dribble penetration, especially from the high post from both of them, and we need to make sure we're blocking out, which they're averaging 13 offensive rebounds a game.
And finally, this is a team that, tonight, Gulf South Conference quarterfinals, and I know you don't want to look too far ahead, but what does this team need to do starting tonight to try to repeat as Gulf South Conference champions?
Yeah, we just got to get better. Better defensively. We got to push the ball with a little bit more purpose and trying to find people. One of the things we've done since we started pushing the ball, I think we've been averaging about 85 points a game. And so if we can continue to do that, put some pressure on people to score, and just get better at personnel-specific things on scouting report as we go forward.
And going off of that, too, how important will the senior leadership be down the stretch?
Guards win games this time of year, and so we have 2 really experienced guards. I think Emily and Tiff have to shoot the ball well for us to advance, though.
All right, Coach, best of luck tonight.
Thanks.
All right, coming up, we'll have an interview with Steve Beverly coming up at the desk. We'll break down the matchups to look out for as the Union Lady Bulldogs will host West Alabama in the quarterfinal game of the Gulf South Conference Tournament. The winner will head to Samford University in Birmingham, Alabama to play the semifinals and perhaps the championship game. That'll be March 9th and March 10th. But that interview with Steve Beverly will come up after these messages.
When I first came to Union, it was already like March or April of my senior year, and I hadn't decided where I wanted to go. I was looking at big Christian schools, small Christian schools, even state schools. I didn't want a Christian school that would just hide me away from the world and just teach me to live within a Christian environment that hasn't shielded me from secular beliefs or opinions or ideas, but it's taught me how to think about it through Christian lenses. There's so many things I love about Union. One of them is definitely the professors. They have all taken such a personal interest in my growth, and they have all been very, very dedicated to helping me grow, both as a Christian and as a student. If I had to sum it up in one word, I would definitely say opportunity. It's given me so many chances to be a leader in different clubs and organizations. It's given me the chance to expand professionally, to build my portfolio. It's given me a chance to pursue my own interests and passions, and it's just been an extremely encouraging and empowering environment.
sorry. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry.
You're all right.
Sorry.
It's okay, Gabe.
I'm Logan Whaley. West Tennessee This Week is your weekend look at the top stories that are affecting your life. Whether it's the new direction for public schools in Jackson, a growing economy in our part of the state, the controversy over a new jail, or the men and women who work to keep our community safe, West Tennessee This Week will cover all the stories. When leaders make decisions to affect your life, we'll be there. Join us for West Tennessee This Week, Saturday nights at 10 and Sunday mornings at 10 on NBC 39.
Gig, 1,000 megabit speed, now available to any E+ broadband internet customer. This gig-enhanced infrastructure has the capacity to increase speeds in the future. E+ broadband, what many interpreted as JA's entrance into cable television, was actually the foundation of an unparalleled communications infrastructure. Looking out for Jackson's economic and lifestyle future is all a part of JEA today.
And back we are at the desk here on E+ TV6. And ladies and gentlemen, don't adjust your television sets. We have the one and only Steve Beverly joining us. And if you don't know Steve Beverly, you should know him. Was the play-by-play voice for Union basketball for 25 seasons. And Steve, always a pleasure. Thank you for being with us.
Well, just because you opened the telecast this way, I just have to do this. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Now,
it is.
Now you can go on with it.
It is. Well, for those of you who don't know, this is the 15th year of Union basketball here on E+ TV6, and Steve, you were there for a lot of that. Just run through some of your favorite moments here on E+ TV6.
Oh, my goodness. When I think about the first year that we did basketball on E+ TV6, it was the first of Mark Campbell's national championships of NAIA. And in November of that year, we had a game in the old Rotary Classic on this floor between Union and Oklahoma City, which had been the vaunted rival. They were probably the most hated team that was ever in the NAIA tournament here.
But not the Thunder.
No, not the Thunder. The Oklahoma City, at that time they were called the Stars. And they came in here on this floor having won 4 consecutive national championships. And so Union won the game that night, 93-75. It was the worst defeat they'd had in 10 years, and this place just went like a crazy house that night. And so, you know, there were those. We had conference championships that were won by Ralph Turner's team and also by Dave Niven. There are just so many things that you bring back when you are on this floor when it starts tournament time that you think about how crazy it was. But we started all this in 2004 on E+ TV6.
And when you look back, too, because, I mean, you as a commentator, you've been through so many changes here at Union University and the different style of teams. You've had Coach Mark Campbell for the majority of that run, seeing all 600 of his victories here on E+ TV6. And, you know, and even the transition from NAIA to Division II. And how have you seen that transition from the NAIA to Division II affect Union athletics?
I think Mark put it best when he said that making that transition meant that everybody that you play in Division II is the equivalent of playing an Elite Eight opponent in the national tournament of NAIA. And that's our Union is 26-2 coming into this, but look at the number of games that they have had, particularly post-Christmas, that have gone down to the fourth quarter and late in the game before Union could pull it out, the 2 losses to Lee. So this is a very competitive conference, and I don't think anybody ought to take this one for granted because Union had to struggle before defeating West Alabama the last time out on this floor just a couple of short weeks ago.
Absolutely right. And when you look at that transition going from NAIA and the going down to the Gulf South Conference in Division II, we've really seen our fair share of a good fan base and a bad fan base from time to time. But you look back at the NAIA days and you look at the big rivalries with Freed-Hardeman and teams like Lipscomb and Bethel, Belmont. I mean, you name the rivalry. Union always brought in a big crowd. I remember one broadcast we had, it was back in the 90s.
It was 1997,
yes.
That one you're talking about. It was the conference championship, the old Trans-South Conference. It was the women's championship. Union's All-American was Michelle Street. And that was a game that went to overtime. Union won it 83-79, but it was all the ebb and flow of that game. That was really the game that began to put Freed-Hardeman women's basketball on the map because they took Union to such a really right down to the very end. But that was the night Michelle Street set the all-time record for women scoring with 45 points. And you had them lined. They won't let you do that anymore, but you had them lined up against the wall on either side here at Fred DeLay Gym.
Yeah, in that game, I remember watching on the monitor 2 years ago whenever we did games together. I just remember being in awe of the fans. And, looking now at tonight, I'm not sure how the fan base will be. But
we hope it's good, but it again is proof that these teams in the Gulf South, they're great teams, but they have not really developed an identity, with the exception of perhaps Lee, because that was an NAI rival of Union, and Delta State, because that was a very competitive, particularly the first few years that Union made the switch to D2. But a lot of these other schools just don't have that rivalry identity, and I don't know that they ever will.
And so now looking at this season, I mean, we saw that same lead team knock off Union twice, and Union coming in at 26-2 on the season, a very, very talented team. And I know from your executive producer position, it's much easier, I guess, to really soak in everything that you've seen this season. What have you noticed out of this Lady Bulldog team, and what do they need to do to win the conference championship this year?
Well, I think Mark put it quite well. He's going to have, because he's banged up, he's going to have some people to really step up and play their A game at the A time of year, because there's no time at this point because you're still not guaranteed to make the national tournament yet. There is no guarantee if you step onto the floor with anybody during the course of this tournament, you could be knocked off. It could happen on this floor tonight. So you have to have the bench strength. You've got to have the depth. And these young ladies who will spell the starters, they're going to have to play really at the top of their game.
Absolutely right. Well, now transitioning, I mentioned the executive producer position. How has that transition been for you?
It's been great, because I've been able to listen to you and Alex Northcutt and all of the other color announcers that we've had during the course of this year. I have loved every minute of it, because I had 25 wonderful years doing this, but it was really time for me to pass the baton, and you guys have just done such a yeoman's job with this, and I'm proud of both of you.
I appreciate it. Well, we're running short on time on the interview, but again, it's been a wonderful season with Worthy Road Studios, and you got Paul Scholze, Lawson Mann, and the entire camera crew and sideline reporters, color commentators we've had this season.
And very quickly, we also definitely want to thank Thomas Varghese and the good folks at E-Plus TV6, who have been our partners with these telecasts for 15 years, and we do thank them ever so much, because this has meant a lot, particularly to the shut-ins who used to be able to come to these games regularly and can't now. So thank you one and all, and thank you E-Plus TV6.
It has been an honor to broadcast games here on E-Plus TV6 this season. And Mr. Beverly, one more final thought, if you will, before you go. You talk about that executive producer position. And looking ahead now, when it comes to Union basketball, what does the outlook look like for Union?
I think really, because this has been such a strong tradition with these teams, and of course, Dave Niven has been to the national tournament twice, 16-12 this year. It's going to take a lot for them to they'd probably have to win the tournament outright to get a bid to the national tournament. But the bottom line to it is I think that they have been so competitive, more so particularly with men's basketball than a lot of people thought. But Mark Campbell taking this women's program to a next level last year, going to the Final Four nationally, I think there is nothing but really blue skies, not to quote another song, but I think there's nothing but blue skies. Yeah, it's all out there, though. I think they are really, I think, headed for even better things.
Absolutely. Well, Steve, always a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us. Well, coming up next, Reagan Smith and I will have a preview of the women's matchup between the Lady Bulldogs of Union and the Tigers of West Alabama in the Gulf South Conference quarterfinals. Stay with us.
When I first came to Union, it was already like March or April of my senior year, and I hadn't decided where I wanted to go. I was looking at big Christian schools, small Christian schools, even state schools. I didn't want a Christian school that would just hide me away from the world and like just teach me to live within a Christian environment that hasn't shielded me from secular beliefs or opinions or ideas, but it's taught me how to think about it through Christian lenses. There's so many things I love about Union. One of them is definitely the professors. They have all taken such a personal interest in my growth, and they have all been very, very dedicated to helping me grow, both as a Christian and as a student. If I had to sum it up in one word, I would definitely say opportunity. It's given me so many chances to be a leader in different clubs and organizations. It's given me the chance to expand professionally, to build my portfolio. It's given me a chance to pursue my own interests and passions, and it's just been an extremely encouraging and empowering environment.
Own a lawn mowing service? Propane works for you. Propane can go where you go. Tanks easily changed, no spillage, quick transition, clean burn, increased energy efficiency. Propane, the affordable, clean alternative fuel wherever you mow. Find out more about JA's ProGas. Call 422-7500. Propane, the alternative fuel that makes sense. Part of JEA today.
Hello everybody. Got something I want to tell you. You know, all my good friends at the Tennessee Wildlife Federation have been busier than a raccoon on a creek bank, making sure your wildlife will be around for generations to come. So how about setting a hook into the future of conservation by making a gift to support the Tennessee Wildlife Federation today? There's no place else like Tennessee, and together we can keep it that way.
Gig, 1,000 megabit speed, now available to any E+ broadband internet customer. This gig enhanced infrastructure has the capacity to increase speeds in the future. E+ broadband, what many interpreted as JA's entrance into cable television, was actually the foundation of an unparalleled communications infrastructure. Looking out for Jackson's economic and lifestyle future is all a part of JEA today.
I'm Logan Whaley. West Tennessee This Week is your weekend look at the top stories that are affecting your life. Whether it's the new direction for public schools in Jackson, a growing economy in our part of the state, the controversy over a new jail, or the men and women who work to keep our community safe, West Tennessee This Week will cover all the stories. When leaders make decisions to affect your life, we'll be there. Join us for West Tennessee This Week, Saturday nights at 10 and Sunday mornings at 10 on NBC 39. And here we are at the desk. I'm Logan Whaley. He's Reagan Smith, and we've got the Gulf South Conference quarterfinals ahead for you on E+ TV6 between the host Union Lady Bulldogs coming in number 10 in the nation, 9 in the media poll, 26-2 on the season. They host the West Alabama Tigers coming in at 11-17, 8-12 in conference play. And honestly, Reagan, this is a matchup that is very familiar. We had it 2 weeks ago here on E+ TV6, and in that game, Union was able to come out with an 83-76 victory. But in that game, Reagan, West Alabama, typically a team that doesn't shoot the three ball well, they did that night.
Yeah, well, you know, one of the things that you got to do to stop Union is play good defense. Not, shooting, generally, Union can outshoot you, and that was the problem in that game.
It was, and you look at the all-time series between these two teams. Union leads the all-time series 14-1. The last meeting, West Alabama had 4 in double figures. Union had 5. They forced 18 turnovers and capitalized for 25 points off of those turnovers. But again, you preview these two teams' seasons. I told you West Alabama is 11-17, but when you look at their record, it doesn't dictate how they performed as a team this year. This is one of the best rebounding teams in the Gulf South Conference. They're second in the GSC in offensive rebounds per game at around 13. But this is a team that also turns the ball over a ton per game at 19 turnovers a game. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the visiting West Alabama Lady Tigers. They're coached by Rusty Cram, the Louisiana Tech graduate, in his 5th season, 52 wins and 86 losses as a head coach. He'll send out Tasia Garrett-Hammett, the reigning Gulf South Conference Freshman of the Year. That was just dethroned today by Haley Schubert from Lee. She's coming in averaging just under 11 points a game and 7 rebounds a game. Sophomore out of LaGrange, Georgia, standing in at 5'11", one of the best players on this Lady Tiger team. Then you got Bria Dent, coming in at just under 10 points a game, leading this team in rebounding at 7.5 rebounds a game. The freshman out of Adamsville, Alabama. She has played a phenomenal role on this team, playing, well, she's a guard at 5'9", but also playing the 4. And then you have Elaine Field, the senior guard out of DeLand, Florida, coming in at 6.6 points per game, as well as 5 rebounds a game, coming off of an 11-point performance at Mississippi College in her last game. Then you have Morgan Sams, the senior guard out of Orlando, Florida, the transfer out of Santa Fe College. And finally, you have the junior guard, Janiyah Daniels, the junior out of Lynn Haven, Florida, coming in averaging just over 10 points a game. So there's a look at the starting five for this West Alabama team. And Reagan, when you look at the keys for West Alabama this game, what do they need to do to win here tonight?
Well, I think anytime you're playing Union, you need to play good defense, defend the three-point line, especially against Reaches. Don't let her get going from three, because if you let her get going from the three-point line, there's no stopping them. But here we have Field and Sams, who are seniors, and they don't want to end their career, right?
Absolutely right. I mean, you have the senior guard, and we saw it last season too with Valdosta State here in the South Region Championship game. The senior guards that typically didn't play well in the season, they stepped up for Valdosta. I would expect the same here for Union, but shifting gears now to talk about the Lady Bulldogs as we get a look at their starting five, coached by Mark Campbell. 20th season, 612 wins, 92 losses. He'll send out Jada Perkins and Jada Smith. Perkins, the senior guard out of right here in Jackson, Tennessee, the Northside product, coming in averaging 11 points a game, leading the team in assists at 6.4 per game, which is good for 8th in all of Division II. Also averaging just under 3 steals a game. Was recently named to the Gulf South Conference All-Second team here today. And then you have Jada Smith coming in averaging just under 15 points a game. She was named to the All-Gulf South Conference first team with Morgan Martin, who is coming off one of her best games, 29 points, 11 rebounds. She's averaging just under 18 points a game and just under 10 rebounds a game. Then you have the senior guard, Tiffany Reaches, in the lineup, but one change in the lineup. Typically, you'll see Kennedy Childers out there. She will not play tonight, has a knee injury. You'll see Avery Carpenter get her first start of her college career here tonight, averaging just under 5 points a game. So there's a starting five for the Lady Bulldogs. Again, Union coming off of a 94-86 victory against Christian Brothers. Heading into the tournament, Union shot 54% from the field. Christian Brothers, this is something to keep an eye out on. Christian Brothers hit 18 threes against the Lady Bulldogs. And Union defensively, the last 6 games, they've allowed 76 points per game over their last 6 games, including 86 points. That's the most that anyone has scored against Union this season. So that's something to keep an eye out on, as West Alabama, again, a team that only averages 64 points per game. They're 5-11 at games away from Livingston, Alabama, but here we are again. It's the regular season's over. You throw records, you throw stats out the window. Both teams coming in 0-0 in postseason play. We have an exciting one for you on E+ TV6, and at this time, we'll take it down to Josh Simmons for tonight's preliminaries.
Tonight's competition between the Tigers of the University of West Alabama and your Union Lady Bulldogs. At this time, we ask that you would stand for our invocation and national anthem, tonight brought by Professor Steve Beverly.
Let us pray. Gracious Father, thank you again for the privilege of intercollegiate athletic competition. For young women and young men who on courts just like this one, tonight all over the country, are straining every muscle, using all of the mental ability they have to try to be the best they can be. Help each person tonight from both teams to leave this court having been the best they can be. Lord, we pray that they will be free from injury. And Lord, we ask that you particularly bless the West Alabama team as they return home. Lord, give us your strength, your guidance. And tonight, Lord, we particularly pray for those 24 victims in East Alabama who lost their lives on Sunday in the terrible tornadoes. Help their families to be particularly comforted at a time of loss that no one could predict. Lord, help us to give you every praise for every blessing that we have. In Christ's name, amen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and Tigers of West Alabama, from Livingston, Alabama, head coach Rusty Craig. Starting at guard at 5'11", student from LaGrange, Georgia, number 1, Tyson Garrett Hammond. At guard, a 6'9" freshman from Huntsville, Alabama, number 2, Bria Dent. At guard, a 5'7", senior from Deland, Florida, number 5, Elaine Field. At guard, a 5'5" senior from Orlando, Florida, number 12, Morgan Sams. And at guard, a 5'6" junior from Midhaven, Florida, number 30, Janiyah Daniels. And now, for your Union Lady Bulldogs, head coach Mark Campbell in his 20th season assisted by Sarah Hammond and featuring a little page. Starting at guard, a 5'5" senior from right here in Jackson, number 1, Jada Perkins. At guard, a 5'9" junior from Hoover, Alabama, number 2, Jada Smith. At guard, a 5'8" sophomore from Lakeland, Florida, number 11, Avery Carpenter. At guard, a 5'9" senior from Martin, Tennessee, number 21, Tiffany Reaches. And at 4, a 6'2" graduate from Davenport, Iowa, number 22, Morgan Martin.
There you have it, the starting 5 for these two teams. This is the quarterfinals of the Gulf South Conference Championship between Union and West Alabama. The other quarterfinal games going on tonight. Delta State hosting Valdosta State. We also have Lee hosting Alabama Huntsville, and West Florida hosting West Georgia. Should be a very exciting Gulf South Conference tournament on both sides, really. We want to preview on the men's side. Union traveling to Valdosta, Georgia. They'll face the Blazers of Valdosta State, number 8 Union versus number 1 Valdosta. We will have updates on that throughout the night. But again, the starting 5 for these two teams, you have Perkins, Smith, Carpenter, Reaches, and Martin. And for the Lady Tigers, Garrett Hammett, Dent, Field, Sams, and Daniels. It'll be Martin set to tip things off against Garrett Hammett.
You know,
the tip is controlled by West Alabama, and it's Gulf South Conference tournament time here in West Tennessee as the bucket is good by Bria Dent. Sorry, what were you saying, Reagan?
I said, you know how hard it is to beat any team 3 times, no matter if, one team is undefeated and the other team has no wins. It is hard when you've already played each other twice.
Avery Carpenter, fresh in the starting lineup, her first start on the season, connects with the left corner 3 to give the Lady Bulldogs a 3-2 lead. The first time these two teams met, it was at West Alabama. That was all the way back January 12th. Union won that game 71-48, but the Lady Tigers were without Garrett Hammett. The second matchup here at Union, February 16th, Union came away with an 83-76 victory. A very, very tight game as the right elbow jumper is no good by Janiyah Daniels, and here comes Union.
Yeah, that possession wasn't near as good and clean as the first one where they were able to penetrate the lane right away.
Reaches can't connect from downtown. Rebound goes to Dent. Bria Dent, one of the premier freshmen in the Gulf South Conference, didn't win Freshman of the Year, but still had a phenomenal season. 10 points per game, 7.5 rebounds per game. Shot 46% from the field. Backdoor cut, no good by Elaine Field. Janiyah Daniels from the right corner, short.
She waited too long to put that one up. She was wide open, but by the time she shot it, she had someone in her face.
West Alabama, typically a team that doesn't shoot the 3 ball. In fact, on the season, they're only shooting 28% from the 3-point range. Last game against Mississippi College, they were 2 of 9 from downtown, while Mississippi College was 11 of 18. As here's a turnover, and here's Bria Dent. And one thing this West Alabama team does well, they do force a lot of turnovers. 17 turnovers a game is what opponents are averaging against this West Alabama team.
Well, you don't get into the conference tournament by being a bad team. There are no easy outs in the tournament this year.
And Janiyah Daniels, that was Garrett Hammett called for the travel. It'll be Union basketball. A 2 by Den, a 3 by Carpenter, and that's all the scoring we have here in the first couple minutes here at the Fred DeLay Gymnasium. He's Reagan Smith, I'm Logan Whaley. West Alabama in a zone look here defensively. Inside, nice dish from Perkins. No foul called as Martin can't finish.
Yeah, tried to force that one up, really just trying to look for the foul. You knew that shot wasn't going to go in.
They tried to force contact there, and the off-balance shot couldn't go. That's Martin's first attempt of the night here, and on the other end, the foul will go to Tiffany Regis. That'll be her first. You look at Morgan Martin in her last outing, really dominated a pretty undersized Christian Brothers team, but still to put up 29 points and 11 rebounds, it's a pretty good night.
Definitely. You know, Martin was able to do whatever she wanted to on the inside with a, you know, we kept saying during that game, a really undersized Christian Brothers team who, you know, had a hard time staying fresh with only 9 players on the team and then one fouling out late in the game. Just hard to keep their effort up against Martin, who was just bigger and stronger.
Dent goes 1 of 2 at the charity stripe. That's another area that West Alabama has struggled in this season. Team that ranks last in the Gulf South in free throw percentage, coming in shooting 60% from the line as a team. So now here's Union looking to attack the zone defense, all tied up at 3. Regis will take the 3, and she buries it.
And normally you would say that's a long 3, but not for her. She can make that shot consistently.
Now Union into their trap defense here. Looked like a 2-1-2 look, but West Alabama able to break it. 3 from Tasia Garrett Hammett rims out. Garrett Hammett only her 16th 3 attempted on the season. Reaches from way downtown. Can't get it to go.
Couldn't get the roll, but it was a good look.
Nearly stolen, and it is by Jada Smith. Up to Perkins for an easy layup.
And that's just how you draw it up. If you're Coach Campbell, you couldn't have asked for a better defensive possession there.
Now Union switching up defensive looks here. 1-2-2 press. Garrett Hammett on the drive, kicking out. Union on a 5-0 run. Baseline drive by Field, and they'll call a foul on Regis, and that'll be her second.
Yep, almost was legal contact, but just sliding the feet, just getting right in there. That's going to be a foul call every time.
So Emily Beard will check in for Regis. Garrett Hammett will check out, and coming in, you have Latangela Walker, the senior center out of Birmingham, Alabama, the transfer out of Louisiana Monroe. Walker coming off of a 6-point outing against Mississippi College.
Lots of contact, but they let him play.
Up to Carpenter, can't get it. Easy chance there by Carpenter, but can't get it to go.
You know, a lot of these passes from West Alabama, Union is at least having a shot to intercept. They're cross court or pop fly passes. They need to get better passes to make sure that they don't wind up in the hands of a Bulldog defender.
Deep 3 from Morgan Sams, long. Emily Beard with a rebound. Union in transition. Morgan with a nice jump shot for her first 2 points of the game.
And again, doing whatever she wanted to on that possession there down low.
So Morgan Sams taking the ball up the court, standing in at 5'5". And a bad pass there by Daniels. It leads to a turnover. Smith pulling up a transition, and that is automatic. And Coach Cram will take a timeout. Union on an 11-0 run here at the Fred DeLay Gymnasium, and wouldn't you know it, up 12-3 early on here against West Alabama. We'll take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back after this.
So I'm just going to pour it right over top of it.
Hey!
Back here on E+ TV6, Union currently on a 12-1 run, including a 9-0 run in the past 2.5 minutes. And Reagan, turn defense leading to offense. Exactly the case here.
Well, definitely. Coach Campbell couldn't have asked for a better start. You know, a lot of times the Bulldogs, they like to start games slow. For some reason, you know, that's kind of getting out of the gate. They fall behind and have to catch up. But this game, I mean, you couldn't ask for a better start. 12-3, and they're just getting started.
The Union cheerleaders love it. The Union faithful loves it. Coach Campbell loves it. Good start for the Lady Bulldogs, and as you mentioned, Reagan, that it has been something that has been lacking this season for Union. Typically, they make their best runs in the second half, but here so far, it's 12-3. We'll see how West Alabama responds. Mackenzie Parker, the senior guard out of Decatur, Florida, checking in. Parker, the senior, as I mentioned, somebody that leads this team in three-point shooting percentage at 30%. Just to give you an idea of how much West Alabama struggles with shooting the three. Perkins with a nice strip and steal.
Another good defensive possession for Union. I mean, you just keep seeing possession after possession. Now, they've only given up 1 point since that opening possession where they got two really easy.
And Gaines can't handle the pass. It leads to a turnover. This is a lineup we haven't seen too often. Martin and Gaines in the same lineup. Or excuse me, not Gaines, Graves. Bria Gaines and Deja Graves get a lot of comparisons, and, well, I unfortunately confused the two there.
Well, this gives Union a huge size advantage on the glass because you have the tallest two players on the floor. It looks like, maybe not by height, but they at least look like the two tallest ones out there.
Good help defense there by the Lady Tigers. Steal by Parker. Garrett Hammett thought about it. Now she'll drive against Deja Graves. Count it.
Well, that was an amazing job fighting through contact and getting the foul and the bucket. That was an incredible drive there.
It's their first field goal since 9 minutes, 55 seconds in this first quarter. Coach Campbell not agreeing with the decision to count the basket there, saying that it was on the gather. In the NBA, it would be an and one, but here in college, it's not necessarily the rule. But regardless, Garrett Hammett will be at the line, shoot one. Sorry, go ahead.
That's a judgment call, though. You know, the ref kind of has to make a decision. Were they on the way up? A lot of times you can be on the way up but not about to shoot, and it looks like, you know, it's hard when contact interferes with that shooting motion. You know, maybe she was about to shoot and then had to shoot later. There's many possibilities.
So Garrett Hammett converts the and one. Union players were even confused there. They thought that she was going to go and shoot two. Either way, here's Union going the other way.
Yeah, regardless, a huge 3 points there for West Alabama to really help them maybe get in a rhythm here.
Martin working for it down low, and Garrett Hammett will get called with her first foul. And checking in for the first time, Kim Parrish, the senior guard out of Birmingham, Alabama.
How about Carpenter so far? Has 5 points, leading all scorers at the moment in her first start.
Yeah, she has been playing well. Down low to Martin, count it. She'll shoot one more. Again, quick passes, easy way to beat the zone. They're able to find Martin down low with good positioning. Now Garrett Hammett and Martin with a chance to trade and ones.
The Union's made 4 out of their last 5 field goals, which it helps when your missed field goals are erased by foul calls, as West Alabama has been committing a lot of fouls so far.
So Martin will head to the line. She's a 78% free throw shooter. Missing there, can't convert the and one. On the floor there is Tasia Garrett Hammett, and Coach Cram will take his second timeout of the quarter. We will take one with him. Union on fire from the field to start this game. They lead West Alabama 14-6 here at the Fred DeLay Gymnasium.
Want to make your life a little easier? Now you can manage your Jackson Energy Authority account online. View statements, pay your bill, set up reminders, or recurring payments. Spend more time with your family, not your bills. It's easy. Just visit www.jaxenergy.com anytime and sign up. Make your life a little easier with with online bill pay from Jackson Energy Authority.
And back we are on E+ TV 6. He's Reagan Smith. I'm Logan Whaley. West Alabama forced to take a timeout there after solid Union defense there, forcing the ball to come loose.
It's hard having to take 2 timeouts in the first quarter, but I mean, you know, you need every possession trying to stay in this game, but that could come back to haunt them if this game is close late.
They call a blocking foul on Jada Smith.
I don't know what else she could have done there. She was kind of jumped into by the West Alabama player.
So Bria Dent on the backdoor cut. They'll say Smith got there late. So heading underneath is Morgan Sams. West Alabama will have a fresh 30.
Lady Tigers having trouble getting open against this Union defense. And there's a turnover out of bounds.
Turnover there by Kim Parrish. It'll lead to Union ball. And for West Alabama, already 6 turnovers in this quarter alone.
That's not the recipe to beat the #1 seed in the conference. You can't turn the ball over against a team who's better at shooting and defending than you are.
Inside Martin against Garrett Hammett. Nice take there from the graduate student Martin. Union back at the press look. Lady Bulldogs with their largest lead of the game, up by 10. They've started off 7 of 11 from the field.
And ever since those opening couple minutes, Union's on a 13-3 run. It's been great basketball from them so far this first quarter.
Martin gets called with her first foul. That'll send Garrett Hammett to the line for the second time. Again, Garrett Hammett, a 54% free throw shooter on the season. Last season, she was one of the best free throw shooters on the team. Hits the first.
As an underdog, as an 8 seed, you got to do the little things right. You got to hit your free throws, and you have to avoid turnovers.
2-2 at the line is Garrett Hammett. Back to an 8-point game. We've played 8 minutes here at the Fred DeLay Gymnasium, the Gulf South Conference quarterfinals between the #1 seed Lady Bulldogs, coming off of their 5th regular season title since joining the Gulf South Conference. Jada Smith, a nice drive, a nice pull-up, and a nice finish. And Union again looking to defend their Gulf South Conference Tournament Championship after winning their 2nd straight regular season title. Another turnover for the Lady Tigers. Here's Avery Carpenter, can't finish with the left hand, but Jada Smith is there for the follow. She can't finish. And they'll call Morgan Martin with her 2nd foul.
Wow, 2nd foul already just in the first quarter.
2 on Regis, 2 on Martin.
And Union needs both of them to be able to stay in, not sit due to foul trouble, but have them on the court as 2 of their big impact contributors.
So 1:15 to play. Deja Graves going to have to play some big minutes here the rest of this first half. And we'll see, yes, Coach Campbell going to his zone defense now. So we'll see how West Alabama wants to attack it. Again, a team that doesn't shoot the 3 ball well. They're 0 of 4 tonight.
Yeah, and the thing about Martin coming out of the game is you don't know how Graves will handle increased minutes. If she's forced to play more than she should, how would that affect her knee?
Perkins with her 2nd field goal of the night gets the steal. Already 3 steals for Jada Perkins. That surpasses her season average, coming in 19th in Division II in total steals. Janiyah Daniels missing short. Beard on the drive, pull up Jay from the baseline, good.
That's a good job by Smith, recognizing that the drive was not there and passing it back out and getting 2 points out of it.
Emily Beard, somebody that doesn't really go to the dribble drive too often, did there, and it worked out for her. Field, nice shot off the glass. Now Union will have the final shot. Perkins on the drive. Floater, good.
Wow.
And that will take us to the end of the first quarter. What a quarter by the host Lady Bulldogs. They shoot 11 of 16 from the field, holding West Alabama to only 3 of 10 shooting and also forcing 8 turnovers. Going now to the second quarter here at the Fred DeLay Gymnasium. The Lady Bulldogs leading West Alabama 24-10.
If you watch Steve Beverly's TV classics, you may get a snack.
What do you say we toast some marshmallows, huh?
It's with your host,
Big Steve.
Some people watch even if they don't like the host.
Big Steve notwithstanding.
What do smart viewers think?
Oh, Mr. B, you're just a doozy.
Steve Beverly's TV Classics, Saturday and Sunday from 7 to 10 on TV6.
Back here on E+ TV 6. Union up by 14 at the end of the first quarter. And what a first quarter we saw there. Really balanced scoring all around for the Lady Bulldogs. As you look at the updated scoring here, Perkins with 4, Carpenter with 5, Smith with 4, Regis with 3, Beard with 2, Martin with 6.
All the starters have at least 3 points. They've all contributed really nicely in this game so far.
For West Alabama, only 3 players in the scoring column. You have Garrett Hammett, Dent, and Field. What does West Alabama need to do to get back in this game?
Well, I think they need to play better on both ends. Honestly, they're letting Union have too many easy looks in the paint with Martin. And then on the offensive end, they're getting in each other's way. They're not getting great passes, and they're just not being careful with the ball in general.
See the crowd here starting to file in here at the Fred DeLay Gymnasium. Other quarterfinal games set to get underway here soon. Lee hosting Alabama Huntsville at 6 o'clock Central Time. West Georgia at West Florida at 6 o'clock, and then Valdosta State at Delta State at 6:30. Deja Graves opens the second quarter with a missed bucket there, but she was fouled and will head to the line to shoot 2.
Yeah, Graves nearly able to get the and one, and man, that would have just put this lead at possibly 17. It would start to perhaps get out of hand for the Lady Tigers.
And still plenty of time left in this game, and this is a West Alabama team that has been battle-tested, especially in their last few games. Graves, a 60% free throw shooter, misses the first. We'll see Latangela Walker check back in. But for this West Alabama team, they've had some quality wins on the season. They went to Valdosta State, knocked them off back in January, but again, you look at the top games in the conference against the better teams in the GSC. They've really struggled. Lost at Delta State back in November. It was a 1-point loss, and Delta State a very tough place to play. They lost to Union, Lee, and West Florida in 3 of 4 games in January, all without Tasia Garrett Hammett. This is a team that's really struggled with injuries all season, and it's players like Sydney Bozeman and Chloe Culpepper, 2 players that played significant minutes last season, unable to get minutes this season due to injury. Garrett Hammett with the offensive rebound, can't get it, and possession will go to Union.
And you see that offensive rebound on that last possession. That's really what's been helping the Tigers so far this season. I mean, they're second in offensive rebounding in the conference, 4th in total rebounding, but their free throws and their three-point percentage are at or near the bottom of the conference. It's not the shot the first time that goes in. Oftentimes it's the second or the third one that goes in.
Well, and you look at this team too. I mean, they know that now is the time to attack with Morgan Martin in foul trouble. Martin, the team's leading scorer and rebounder. Carpenter with it. Out of bounds. Good defense there by Lane Field.
Just 6 going to be on the shot clock now when they inbound. They'll have to get a quick shot, and this is a moment when they would love to have Regis in the game.
Perkins will check in for Gray. Perkins, again, 4 points, 3 steals. Actually, I believe she has 6 points. Live stats are, and the scoreboard are a little off. A turnover there. Here's Garrett Hammett on the break. Jumper no good there from Kim Parrish. Missed opportunity there for the Lady Tigers.
And every Union player that's gotten in the game so far has scored now.
Avery Carpenter from downtown.
I was going to say with the exception of Gray.
Avery Carpenter her first start on the season, her 4th start in her college career. Give her 6. Graves with the rebound. Now Union looking to extend their lead. Here's Perkins on the drive, and they'll say it was a charge.
That's big. Get, more fouls on Union. Perhaps maybe get some of the guards in foul trouble now and get the ball back. Already down 18, though. They're just digging themselves a huge hole with their inability to convert offensively.
So Perkins, her first foul, the team's first of the quarter. Lady Tigers working it around the perimeter. Walker rejected by Graves.
What
And
a save there by Carpenter.
Carpenter able to save it into the hands of Jada Smith. Beard tipped out of bounds, going to stay with the Lady Bulldogs. Good defense there by Janiyah Daniels.
Yeah, not a great pass. I don't think Beard saw the defender there lurking right behind Carpenter.
So here's Union and Jada Perkins, the senior point guard. And the All-Gold South Conference second team today. The rest of that team. In the second team, you have Bailey Johnson out of Alabama Huntsville, Nia Johnson from Delta State, Brienne Lytle from Christian Brothers. They'll call the blocking foul on Emily Beard, and Elaine Field will head to the line to shoot 2, much to the chagrin of the Union faithful.
Well, Beard was basically running backwards the whole time that the Lady Tiger was running at her. She was just not ready for the contact. If she'd have stayed up and braced for the contact and gotten set, she would have gotten the foul call. But, man, it's a hard foul to draw there.
So Field will head to the line to shoot 2, a 63% free throw shooter, 37 of 59 on the season. But the rest of that second team, I mentioned Bailey Johnson, Nia Johnson, Brienne Lytle, and Jada Perkins. Quantesha Patterson from Delta State also made the second team. Now going to the first team. Basically just the top 3 teams of the conference represented, 2 from Union, 2 from West Florida, and 1 from Lee. The 1 from Lee is Abby Bertram, the junior guard. Tony Brewer and Haley Neiman, the two of the best post players in the conference on there. And Morgan Martin and Jada Smith from Union represented there on the first team. And Tony Brewer named the player of the year, Haley Schubert the freshman of the year, Stephanie Lawrence Yelton from West Florida. The coach of the year is Carpenter, missing a 3 really bad there.
Yeah, and Union is the only team on that list with 3 players represented among the 10 there.
Beard can't connect from 3. The fight for the rebound is won by Janiyah Daniels. Union back into his own look here defensively. Tipped.
This game started to look a little more rugged with some bad passes and swarming defense. Both teams struggling to find the hoop.
Walker, a nice drive against the zone, able to finish off the glass.
Yeah, there was nice penetration there into that zone defense. That was a good job by the Lady Tigers.
Tangela Walker, as I mentioned, the transfer out of Louisiana Monroe, started 17 games last year for ULM, 5.5 points a game.
Lots of contact on that play, but no foul called on either side.
Beard
Just
can't
gotta play
connect.
through some of that.
Union back down 15, or excuse me, back up 15. And our first look at Ellie Pratt, set to check in. Lane Field connects with the first 3 of the night for the Lady Tigers, and all of a sudden we have a 12-point game here at the Fred.
West Alabama's clawing back in this thing slowly. Of course, when your shots aren't falling, you have to do it slowly, but they're not giving up anything on the defensive glass, or on the defensive end rather, at all at the moment.
Perkins will get called with her second foul. Charge there, and that's a huge second foul. Now Union will be without their starting point guard. 3 starters in foul trouble. Ellie Pratt checking in, as well as Miracle Gray.
Well, fortunately, Union has depth, but yeah, when their star players get out of the game, it's definitely a drop in talent to that bench for sure.
So again, a zone look here for Union. UWA looking to extend their 6-0 run. Over the top to Walker. And again, against this lineup, the Lady Tigers with a lot of post depth, and they're really attacking inside right now. Back to a 10-point game.
Union has not scored in the last 3.5 minutes, while West Alabama scored the last 8 points.
We've seen this Union team go on lulls throughout the season. You know, one quarter they'll look like one of the best teams in the nation, then others they'll look like one of the worst. Just the inconsistency really for the Lady Bulldogs has been the key to watch this season, but typically one game the defense would win the game, other games their offense would win the game. Coach Campbell looking for a full 4 quarters of action. We're going to take a timeout here. West Alabama on an 8-0 run. 10-point game here at the Fred.
Propane, 95% generated in the U.S., is a gas that works anywhere. Central tanks for fleets, vehicles. Portable tanks for forklifts, lawnmowers. The fuel you can take anywhere. Even backup generation runs off propane. Household appliances, outdoor features. To find out more about affordable, clean, versatile propane, contact JEA's ProGas, 422-7500. The alternative fuel that makes sense. Propane, part of JEA today.
Back here on E-Plus TV 6, you see a look at Coach Campbell in the huddle there. And with a report on the Lady Bulldogs, we have Alexander Bitterling.
Well, Logan, Coach Campbell wants to play this game very safe. He says he wants his girls always on defense, always with their hands up, never let the ball out of their sight. Really some elementary techniques here, but he wants them to stay on the press, limit the passes, and keep the ball off the ground. Just really take control of the ball and be careful with it and make sure this game is safe.
There you have it. Thank you, Alexander. And you look at the way Union's played here in the second quarter, only 4 points in the first 5 minutes. 1 of 5 from the field, 1 of 4 from 3, and especially without now 3 of their starters, Perkins, Regis, and Martin with 2 fouls. This West Alabama team has really been able to capitalize off of that.
Yeah, if only they would shoot the ball better in this quarter. I mean, they would be right back with Union, but they've had a hard time putting it in the hole themselves, and that's really not helped them this quarter.
Carpenter with a charge.
And another offensive foul by Union, and that's one of the reasons they're racking up so many fouls.
Team's 4th of the quarter.
And the inconsistency showed by Union, the fact that they've gone nearly 4 minutes without a point. You can get away with that against teams like West Florida, but when you go down to Florida, possibly having to play away from home in the NCAA tournament, that's not going to work against these elite teams.
Garrett Hammett on the drive, finds a wide open Daniels from downtown, missing long. Ellie Pratt with a rebound, and it's stripped away by Elaine Field.
Yeah, Field just wanted that one more. Pratt was not able to keep a handle on it, but she had the rebound and just let it go.
Deep 3, short. Fight for the rebound, won by Daniels. Can't connect on the layup. And Deja Graves was fouled there. Team's 3rd. That'll be Walker. Beard will check in for Pratt.
You know, it really hurts to foul on the offensive end because then, instead of possibly being able to, the other team, having to bring the ball all the way up the court with you, instead you have to go back, get set, play defense. It's just not the best situation to commit a foul on the offensive glass.
So Union looking for a bucket here. They can't get it. But Deja Graves, easy rebound, easy putback.
Yeah, that is the Graves we're used to seeing before that injury has really limited her lately. She's a good ball player, and she needs to get back to, dominating in the paint.
Well, really an undersized look here for West Alabama, but Mackenzie Parker connecting from downtown. A good sign for the senior Parker. Has really struggled over her last 7 games or so, only shooting 17%. In her last 7, 6 of 35 from the field, able to connect with a 3 there. The travel there, another turnover for the Lady Bulldogs. 11 now in the game.
Well, both teams are really being careless with the basketball, both with fouls on the offensive end and violations and turnovers.
Parker 2 of 2 from downtown to start this game. And it's all of a sudden a 2-possession game.
Yeah, who would have thought this game would turn into a 6-point affair so quickly with just 3 minutes left to go in the second quarter.
And West Alabama being very efficient in the quarter. They haven't turned the ball over once here in the second. Beard open from the right corner. Got it.
That helps. The lead goes back up to 9, a full 3 possessions, and really energizes this crowd and the team.
The 4th 3 of the night for the Lady Bulldogs. Another 3 for Parker. Can't get it to go. But the rebound by Field, but she'll get called with a foul, and that will be her first.
Yeah, Carpenter was camped under that weight, just waiting for the ball to come down. By the time she'd come down, she'd been run over.
So now Union looking to close out the next 2 minutes of this quarter. Strong here. Here on Super Tuesday, Jada Smith can't connect from downtown. Garrett Hammett on the drive against Carpenter. Tough shot from Field, no good. Graves with the rebound.
Yeah, there were defenders all over the place on that play, just unable to get inside and get a good shot.
Smith will head to the line after getting fouled there. Smith only with 4 points, has been pretty quiet here in this second quarter.
Yeah, and she's been one of the ones lately that's helped propped up the team when some of the other scorers have not been at their best. You know, her and Martin have really carried the team lately, but today is one of those rare days where she hasn't been, you know, the best putting the ball in the hoop.
77% free throw shooter is Jada Smith. Goes 2 of 2 at the line there. Now West Alabama the other way. Union on their own run here, 5-0 run.
Lead back up in double figures. West Alabama can't blow this opportunity before the half. They need to claw back into this deficit zone.
A good look there from Garrett Hammett, but unable to get it to go. Smith, the free throw line jumper, long, but Graves with the rebound. You don't
see Smith miss many of those jumpers from the free throw line.
She'll try it again, and right on cue, second time's the charm there.
And never twice in a row. She won't miss that shot twice.
Union again in a zone look here. West Alabama looking to counter the run. It's a 7-0 run for Union. Parker thought about it.
West Alabama's really been unable to do anything with Field there in the middle. They haven't been able to take it toward the basket on Graves yet.
Missed 3 there from Daniels. And Miracle Gray will get hammered. And that foul puts Union in the bonus, so Miracle Gray will head to the line to shoot 2. Gray hasn't been to the charity stripe a ton this year. This will be her 29th and 30th attempts. She is a 61% free throw shooter. Alabama, Huntsville, and Lee just getting underway in Cleveland. Lee with a 3-1 lead early on. West Florida and West Georgia set to tip off in just a couple minutes in Pensacola. And then one more game, Delta State hosting Valdosta State. That will be at 6:30 Central Time as Gray can't connect on the first. As Parrish will check in.
And of course the men getting underway, the Union Bulldogs playing Valdosta State. Just getting underway there.
That game will be in a few. We'll keep up with that game as well. In fact, that game just getting underway at Valdosta, so we'll give you an update here in a second, but on this possession, a drive, wild shot, no good from Kim Parrish. In fact, Valdosta State with an early 8-0 lead over Union. They open up the quarter 3 of 3 from downtown.
Last shot here for Union. They're going to try to get something good. They haven't been successful so far.
Beard can't connect. Gray can't finish. But going to the locker room, it's Union up by 13 over the Lady Tigers of West Alabama. Union really started off the quarter slow, but finished on a 7-0 run to head into the locker room. They're led by Jada Smith with 8 points. And again, really balanced scoring describes this first half, and Union able to capture a 13-point lead with 3 of their starters in foul trouble. So Reagan, quick takeaways from that first half.
Well, that second quarter could have gotten away from Union and let the Lady Tigers right back in this game. Instead, Union was able to stop it and now have a sizable 13-point lead heading into the break with many opportunities to improve.
We'll break down the half a little bit later on, but first we're going to head to a break. And when we come back, we'll have Dr. Dub Oliver here on E+ TV6.
When I first came to Union, it was already like March or April of my senior year, and I hadn't decided where I wanted to go. I was looking at big Christian schools, small Christian schools, even state schools. I didn't want a Christian school that would just hide me away from the world and like just teach me to live within a Christian environment that hasn't shielded me from secular beliefs or opinions or ideas, but it's taught me how to think about it through Christian lenses. There's so many things I love about Union. One of them is definitely the professors. They have all taken such a personal interest in my growth, and they have all been very, very dedicated to helping me grow, both as a Christian and as a student. If I had to sum it up in one word, I would definitely say opportunity. It's given me so many chances to be a leader in different clubs and organizations. It's given me the chance to expand professionally, to build my portfolio. It's given me a chance to pursue my own interests and passions, and it's just been an extremely encouraging and empowering environment.
Community leaders are talking about Steve Beverly's TV classics, but are they serious? Do they like classic TV? Do they really watch?
That's a lot of questions in one sentence, Steve.
What do they think about the host?
I don't have any clear answers to that.
What usually happens if you watch TV classics?
A very entertaining evening for people.
Watch TV Classics Saturday and Sunday at 7 on TV6.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Gig, 1,000 megabit speed, now available to any E+ broadband internet customer. This gig enhanced infrastructure has the capacity to increase speeds in the future. E+ broadband, what many interpreted as JA's entrance into cable television, was actually the foundation of an unparalleled communications infrastructure. Looking out for Jackson's economic and lifestyle future is all a part of JEA today.
Hello, everybody. Got something I want to tell you. You know, all my good friends at the Tennessee Wildlife Federation have been busier than a raccoon on a creek bank, making sure your wildlife will be around for generations to come. So how about setting a hook into the future of conservation by making a gift to support the Tennessee Wildlife Federation today? There's no place else like Tennessee, and together we can keep it that way.
I'm Logan Whaley. West Tennessee This Week is your weekend look at the top stories that are affecting your life. Whether it's the new direction for public schools in Jackson, a growing economy in our part of the state, the controversy over a new jail, or the men and women who work to keep our community safe, West Tennessee This Week will cover all the stories. When leaders make decisions to affect your life, we'll be there. Join us for West Tennessee This Week, Saturday nights at 10 and Sunday mornings at 10 on NBC 39. Back here on E+ TV6, it's the Lady Bulldogs with a 13-point edge over West Alabama. And at this time, a special interview here on E+ TV6. I'm joined by the president of Union University, Dr. Dub Oliver. And Dr. Oliver, thank you so much for being here with us.
Oh, sure. It's always good to be with you, Logan.
And Dr. Oliver, here you're a new grandfather now. Congratulations.
I am. Yes, Betsy Blake, she's 1 week old today.
And how's the family doing right now?
Everybody's doing great.
That's awesome.
Of course, you would imagine that I'd say she's beautiful. Our granddaughter's beautiful, but Mom and Dad and everybody are doing great. Thanks for asking.
That's awesome. I'm really glad to hear that. But we wanted to have you on to really talk about Union athletics and really the direction it's heading. So you became president at a time when Union was in its early years making that transition to the NCAA Division II. What does it mean for the university to be succeeding in a high-profile sport such as women's basketball?
Well, I think it's really critical. Of course, Union has been excellent in women's basketball for many, many years. You see all the championship banners hanging here in the Fred DeLay Gymnasium. And one of the questions I think going into NCAA Division II was, can we compete at this level? We've been obviously dominant in NAIA. And one of the things that's been really nice is to see that level of excellence just easily transition over to NCAA Division II. Part of that, of course, is we have an incredible coach in women's basketball. But I think that gives confidence to all of the other programs that they can succeed in NCAA Division II and Gulf South Conference as well.
Now, for those of you who don't know, and really I'm asking for myself too because I'm not fully aware, what is a president required to do, really the roles and responsibilities when a school is an NCAA member?
Sure. Well, NCAA, one of the things that is really critical for them is what they call presidential oversight of athletics. And so, one of the things that they encourage is that athletics reports directly to the presidents. That's the way it happens here at Union. Athletics reports directly to the president. That's a little bit of a change. It did not report to the president when I came, but I've shifted that over. And really what they want is they want to make sure that there's good integration of athletics with the mission of the institution, and that's why they ask for presidential oversight.
And any other roles and responsibilities there? Or?
I think just trying to lead and manage well, what our core values at Union really guide us. And so thinking about being excellence-driven, Christ-centered, people-focused, and future-directed, whether that's a dean or a vice president or the athletic director in the athletic department, those are the same things that really guide us. And so it's just encouraging, coaching, providing resources, helping to build resources so that we can be successful at this level.
So shifting gears now to talk about Union as a whole, bring people up to date on some of the important things happening on campus for the rest of this spring semester.
Well, we are having a great spring semester, and it'll be nice when it's spring because students always enjoy being outside more than being inside.
Absolutely.
But one of the big projects that we're working on right now is our campus master plan. Union hasn't done a physical campus master plan since 1996. And so it's been 23 years now since we've been in that process, and we've engaged a company to help us walk through that. And it really is to look at what the physical campus is going to look like over the next 20 years. That's a really exciting project to be working on, and will be finished probably late spring. At least all the gathering of information will be finished, and then we'll work on the plan. And then the other thing, just in addition to all the things that are happening in class and stuff, just today we had our AACSB accreditation team give their report to us, which they've reaffirmed our accreditation. AACSB is the School of Business accrediting, and it's only about the top 4% of business schools are accredited by AACSB, so it's the top level accreditation, and Union has that. So just that excellence, that ongoing sustaining excellence in every area.
That's a lot of letters, I'm not going to lie.
That's right.
Well, we have time for one final question, and just real quick, what are your thoughts on tonight's game?
Well, I'm thrilled that we're up 37-24 at halftime. It's always fun because you can just enjoy the game and visit with folks. Again, our women's basketball team has just done phenomenal. I'm thrilled that our men are in postseason play as well. And again, that's the kind of level of excellence that we want to expect in all of our sports, is that there be it in postseason play year in, year out, and competing for championships.
Dr. Dubb, always a pleasure. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
All right, coming up, Reagan Smith and I will break down the stats from the first half. Stay with us.
Here's the best buy you can get for free. 54 unique and beautiful Tennessee state parks. You can hike and swim, fish and go boating, golf and camp out. Even enjoy our inns and cabins. And admission is always free year-round in your 54 Tennessee state parks. Go to TennesseeStateParks.com for fun and adventure, naturally.
Steve Beverly's TV Classics can cure what ails you.
I watched and it got rid of my hemorrhoids.
Staying awake at night? Just watch TV Classics.
My daughter watched and she went right to sleep.
Do not watch Steve Beverly's TV Classics if fights upset your stomach. Do not watch if high drama leads to emotional distress. And do not turn on TV6 Saturday or Sunday at 7 if hillbillies give you a gallbladder attack.
Ask your doctor if Steve Beverly's Classics is right for you.
Stainless steel with the finest craftsmanship. Swiss made. That's worth like a bunch of hits. My dad doesn't even wear it all the time. He won't even know it's gone. I'll just take it out of his room when he goes to work. If he realizes it, I'll blame it on my little sister. I'll be set for a few days. It's okay. When I can, I'll buy him another one.
The world looks different when you're addicted to opioids. Don't let a prescription become an addiction. To learn more, visit opioidassist.com.
This changes everything. TiVo is here. Search and control your cable channels and streaming video apps with one remote. Record 6 shows at once and build a library of favorites with one pass recording. Then watch on any TV in your home or browse and view on Wi-Fi devices with the free View It app. Call E+ Broadband to add TiVo and ask about our new packages.
You wouldn't do that. So why do you do this? Distracted driving kills an average of 9 people and injures over 1,000 every day in America. Put down your phone. Lives depend on it. Don't drive intoxicated. Don't drive intoxicated. A sobering message from AAA.
Own a lawn mowing service? Propane works for you. Propane can go where you go. Tanks easily changed, no spillage, quick transition, clean burn, increased energy efficiency. Propane, the affordable, clean alternative fuel wherever you mow. Find out more about JA's ProGas. Call 422-7500. Propane, the alternative fuel that makes sense. Part of JEA today.
And back we are on E+ TV6. He's Reagan Smith. I'm Logan Whaley. And at the end of the first half, the Lady Bulldogs lead at West Alabama 37-24 here in the Gulf South Conference quarterfinals. Taking a look at what we saw in that first half, really balanced scoring for the Lady Bulldogs. Jada Smith leading all scorers with 8 points, followed by Jada Perkins, Avery Carpenter, and Morgan Martin with 6 each. Reachus and Graves with 3 each, and Emily Beard with 5 points for the Lady Bulldogs. And for the Lady Tigers, 6 points for Elaine Field and Mackenzie Parker, 5 points for Tasia Garrett-Hammett, 3 points for Bria Dent, and 4 for Latangela Walker. And really, you look at the first half as we get a look at the half stats here. The story so far, Reagan, and the second quarter really dictated a lot in terms of scoring. Union only shooting 29% from the field there in that second quarter alone, 4 of 14. But in the first half overall, shooting the ball 50% from the field. So you see West Alabama only shooting 29%. And this is a team that doesn't take a lot of threes, but they're 3 of 11 from downtown. West Alabama is 27%. You see the free throw line there. West Alabama actually 5 of 7 from the line for 71%, and Union 3 of 7 from the line, a team that is one of the best free throw shooting teams in the conference, not shooting well from the line. A good sign here for the Lady Bulldogs is the fact that they're out-rebounding West Alabama by 9, something that, truthfully, West Alabama doesn't do too often. They're a team that averages 39 rebounds a game and held to only 12 at the half here. And also the turnovers there, Union with a ton of turnovers, 11 to West Alabama's 8, but at the end of the day, it's Union using hot shooting from the field in that first quarter to really get to this 13-point lead.
Oh, definitely. That second quarter was a lot more competitive, but the first quarter was when Union pulled away, used hot shooting. The second quarter, though, Union ran into some foul trouble with some unfortunate offensive mistakes and turnovers included in that really forced their starters to sit, and the bench didn't do a great job picking up the slack.
And you look at the bench, too. Emily Beard with 5, Deja Graves with 3, Graves also with 7 rebounds, leading everybody. And so just a couple of players on the bench that are forced to play some significant minutes here with Kennedy Childers out due to an injury. But looking at the West Alabama side of things, only 24 points there in that first half. In the first quarter, you could tell they couldn't really settle into their offense, but the second quarter went a lot better for the Lady Tigers. What do they need to do to continue off of the momentum there in that second quarter?
They need to keep drawing fouls. The thing about some good teams, they know how to get to the free throw line. Of course, also you have to convert once you get to the free throw line, or it doesn't matter much, despite, you can't get back in the scoring column without making any shots.
And West Alabama, as we mentioned, 8 of 28 from the field, and again, rebounding as well. Union leading the offensive rebounding category 7-3. Including, but here's the kicker: 4 second chance points off of those 7 offensive rebounds, and they also look at points off of turnovers too, as you saw on the screen. Union with 11 turnovers, West Alabama with 8. but West Alabama only capitalizing for 9 points off of those 11 turnovers, Union with 8 off of those 8. So looking ahead here at the second half, we'll see the starting 5 back out on the court for Union with Perkins, Smith, Carpenter, Reaches, and Martin. And I would assume that West Alabama will head to their starting 5 of Garrett Hammett, Dent, Field, Sams, and Daniels. And that's exactly what we'll see here. But scores around the Gulf South Conference. Lee up 28-17 over Alabama Huntsville, and that is in the second quarter at Cleveland. West Georgia up 13-10 over West Florida at the end of the first quarter there in Pensacola. Potential upset alert there.
Yeah, that would be a stunner if West Florida were to drop out in the first round after, being so hot, winning 13 in a row.
Yeah, West Florida, one of the hottest teams in the conference, and, well, both teams are ready, but the referees are nowhere to be found. So this is a case where part of me just wants to spring up and don the black and white stripes, if you will.
Yeah, I don't think they would like that too much. I think you might have an inherent bias, seeing as how you attend one of these schools.
Well, it's true, but I mean, hey, as a broadcaster, you can't have a bias. I mean, yes, this is Union basketball here on E+ TV 6, but at the same time, Gulf South Conference tournament, as you see the meeting at the Mines here at center court between Rusty Cram and Coach Mark Campbell, and well, we can only assume the rapture happened. The referees, I don't know. But anyway, going now to Valdosta State. Speaking of Union on the men's side, Valdosta up 25-16 over the Bulldogs there in Valdosta. And early on, you see Taranda Smith, the named to the All Gulf South Conference second team, with 6 points for the Bulldogs leading the way. But again, the big key for Union that game, you got to stop Bo Justice. And a standing ovation. I can't believe it. The referees have made their way on the court, and these fans love it.
Well, maybe the referees had a plan the whole time. The only way you will ever get a standing ovation from a crowd is when you come in late. Other than that, they hate you.
These fans love it. It'll be West Alabama ball here to start the second half. Garrett Hammett with the ball with 5 points for the Lady Tigers.
Refereeing is the only profession where they say you start perfect and you're expected to improve from there.
It's true. No good there from 3. Perkins tried to force the pass with Reaches wide open. Leads to a turnover.
The Lady Tigers need to come out and keep doing what they did in that second quarter, getting rebounds. Of course, Union still beat them on the boards, but just that effort on the glass can get you back into the game sometimes, showing real toughness and effort.
Sam's driving left, tough shot, no good. And it's going to be a shot clock violation. This ball didn't hit the rim, and Jada Smith, a good job there blocking out, preventing a second chance look.
A great defensive possession from Union to open up this half in the first minute. They've done a good job on defense. They just need to turn that into some points. Only 37 so far.
Carpenter top of the key, guarded by Field. Martin working for it down low. She gets it. Tough shot, can't get it to go.
Yeah, that was a bad angle to shoot from. Maybe, I'm not sure if she knew exactly where she was on the court before she shot that ball.
Martin limited in this game due to foul trouble. Only with 6 points. On the drive is Garrett Hammett trying to force her third. No good. Rebound by Smith. Union in transition with numbers. Smith can't get it, but she'll head to the line to shoot 2. Foul will go against Sams.
Both teams coming out the gates, slow shooting, not able to convert any of these defensive stops into points so far in the first minute and a half.
Smith can't get the first to go. Smith was 2 of 2 from the charity stripe. We'll see Latangela Walker check in for Dent. 1 of 2 at the charity stripe goes Smith. Union up by 14 now. First point scored of the quarter. Sams nearly lost the handle on it.
Yeah, you can't afford to make careless mistakes like that. Unforced errors will kill you. As an 8 seed against a 1 seed, you can't do that.
Jump ball, possession should go to the Lady Bulldogs. It does.
You know, I like how in college you have jump balls and the possession arrow decides who gets it. In the NBA, you know, if a big guy is tied up by a small guy and you're there jumping for the ball, you know Antetokounmpo is not going to get out jumped by Irving or somebody like that.
That's true.
But in this
Inside.
instance, in college, you know, whoever ties it up, well, the possession arrow decides if you get it or not a jump ball.
Perkins, not typically a three-point shooter, misses there, but Union will get a second look. Martin will get fouled by Garrett Hammett, her second. And that'll send Kim Parrish to the scorer's table. She comes in from Kinsey Parker. So it'll be Martin set to inbound underneath.
And between the end of last half and the start of this one, Lady Tigers have gone over 5 minutes without scoring.
Third foul on Latangela Walker. And that'll send Morgan Sams back to the scorer's table. Huge foul there as Walker has been a presence in this game. 4 points and 3 rebounds. See Rusty Cram in his 5th season. Cram spent 16 seasons at Georgia Southern and was a 2-time Southern Conference Coach of the Year. So brings a ton of coaching experience to the table. And Tiffany Reaches with a travel.
Yeah, it was a good opportunity. She had a good shot to drive there and get a look, but just unfortunately shuffled her feet before she took off.
And Reaches is somebody that this season has been more, I mean, you know, compared to other seasons where she has at least driven the basketball from time to time, she's been mainly a spot-up shooter for this team. I know that's something Coach Campbell probably wants to see her do more often, try to drive it to the rim. Field nearly traveled. Blocked by Martin.
What a rejection there. She came out of nowhere to block a 3-point shot.
And another jump ball with 6 to shoot. So possession will go to the Lady Bulldogs after this is inbounded here.
Got to get a quick shot if you're West Alabama. Look for either a pass toward the basket or they'll put it out toward the 3-point line. They got to shoot it.
And Garrett Hammett definitely walked there. It'll be Union basketball.
Seen lots of errors like that on both sides, just careless mistakes that have cost these teams opportunities. Union to pull away, West Alabama to get back in it.
Yeah, Union tonight, just really the past couple quarters, both teams have gone cold from the field. As Avery Carpenter launches one from the top of the key, can't get it.
And Union, despite not having scored for nearly 2 minutes, is still on an 8-0 run.
And no good. West Alabama just can't get anything to go this quarter. Now 0 of 5 to start the second half. Reaches from downtown. Rims out. Rebound to Carpenter.
And that was just being in the right place at the right time by Carpenter because West Alabama looked like they controlled the tip, but she was able to get under it.
Foul goes to Elaine Field. That'll be her second, the team's third. Team's fourth, excuse me. Bria Dent will check back in for Janiyah Daniels. Actually, I stand corrected. It's Elaine Field. I got the fake out here at the table. Saw somebody move toward the West Alabama bench, and I just assumed. Perkins driving against Parrish. Tipped. Out of bounds, and it will stay with the Lady Bulldogs.
Yeah, that was fortunate for Union that did not stay in bounds for the Lady Tigers. That was a bad pass, and West Alabama was right in the way.
Reagan, I got to ask, did you flinch at all?
Honestly, I didn't, but I was more concerned about this monitor sitting here that she almost ran into.
Gotta protect the goods. Missed shot there. Carpenter with a good defense. Possession will stay with the Lady Tigers.
If she ran into me, I can heal a broken bone, but if a computer chip breaks or anything, it won't heal itself.
That's a very good point. Regis will check out. Emily Beard will check in.
Hey, we got to look inside. We missed 6 outside shots in a row.
Again, both teams have yet to hit a field goal here in this quarter.
It was 37-24 at the half. Just that one free throw has made it a 14-point game here.
Block by Martin. And you see Martin showing some emotion there.
I'm sorry, when did Union offer a scholarship to Mutombo?
3 by Beard, rims out. Carpenter's there. That rims out too. And the struggle continues for these two teams, unable to hit anything. And finally, Kim Parrish with the first field goal for either team in the half. They were 0 of 13 combined.
What a weird start to the third quarter after Union put up a good amount in the first quarter. Their offense was really clicking. Since then, hasn't done much.
They get it to Martin again. Tough shot, no good. She'll get fouled by Garrett Hammett. A big foul there. That's foul number 3. Martin will look to get going with their first points of the second half. And that'll take us to a media timeout. Both teams cooler than being cool, ice cold from the field here to start the second half. 2-1 is the score in the quarter in favor of West Alabama, but it's Union with a 38-26 edge here at the Fred DeLay Gymnasium.
If you watch Steve Beverly's TV classics, you may get a snack.
What do you say we toast some marshmallows, huh?
It's with your host,
Big Steve.
Some people watch even if they don't like the host.
Big Steve notwithstanding.
What do smart viewers think?
Oh, Mr. B, you're just a doozy.
Steve Beverly's TV Classics, Saturday and Sunday from 7 to 10 on TV6.
And back we are at E-Plus TV6. It's the Lady Tigers trailing the Lady Bulldogs 38-26. Joining us from West Alabama's huddle is Daniel Potts. Daniel?
Well, players tried to keep each other upbeat in that first half, but Coach told them when they got down, is this really what you consider your best basketball? And that's before they put together their run. But down double digits again here now in the second half, they will have to find another spark of energy from somewhere to get back in this game.
And you look at this team as a whole, this is a team that really spreads the love when it comes to scoring. Top 3 scorers really only averaging just over 10 points a game with the exception of Dent, who's at 9.9. And here tonight it's Elaine Field and Mackenzie Parker. And Parker, someone who only averages 5 a game. Field and Parker lead the way for the Lady Tigers with 6 points. So Martin connects with her first free throw.
Yeah, and if you're Coach Campbell, you have to be wondering, you know, how far is this effort we've put forth today? How far would that take us just in the conference tournament? You can't even think about the national tournament at this moment. You know, just trying to put forth something that would beat, say, a West Florida or a Lee in a conference title game.
Well, and if you're Coach Campbell, you just want to focus on this game and finishing this game strong. As foul there will go on Emily Beard, and that'll be her second. But speaking of the Gulf South Conference Tournament, we'll take you around the GSC. Is just getting underway in Cleveland, Mississippi at Delta State. And Valdosta State, the winner of that game, will face the winner of this game here at the Fred DeLay Gymnasium.
Morgan, switch with JP!
Other games going on. West Georgia holding on to a 22-17 lead with under 5 to play in the second quarter in Pensacola. 3 no good by Dent. Janiyah Daniels with an offensive rebound, and she traveled. It'll be Union basketball. Lee leading Alabama Huntsville 44-36. That game just under 30 seconds to play in the first half down there in Cleveland, Tennessee.
Well, those teams seem to be shooting the ball very well.
Carpenter. Got it. Carpenter with 8 for the Lady Bulldogs.
Finally a field goal here for Union. This whole first 6 minutes, they'd been without one until then.
Union now 1 of 8 in the quarter, 0 of 5 from downtown. They have more points off of free throws than field goals. The jump stop, and they'll call a blocking foul on Jada Perkins.
I don't know, she looked set to me.
That'll be her 3rd. And Coach Campbell can't believe it.
Yeah, a big foul. She'll probably have to sit with 3 fouls, maybe for the rest of the quarter. To see if they decide to leave her in or not. Yeah, she'll stay in for the moment.
Daniels, tough shot, no good. Smith with the rebound. Martin working for it down low, cross-court pass. They get it to Martin, but it's a turnover into the hands of Janiyah Daniels.
More mistakes on the offensive end for Union, just being careless with the ball and throwing it away.
Sam's on the drive, can't finish. Out of bounds, and the possession will go to the Lady Bulldogs.
And Union trying to catch West Alabama before they could get set. Unfortunately, they just weren't able to get open for a shot.
Martin really working for it. And a lot of contact, but no call. But Perkins will head to the line to shoot 2. And a technical foul has been assessed on Union.
Is that on Martin?
I believe they'll call it on Martin.
It was as soon as the foul was called.
And that'll be her 3rd. Graves will head to the scorer's table. And I believe that these 2 teams will just trade free throws, and the possession will go to West Alabama. So again, we're going to figure out, but I believe what will happen is both teams will trade free throws. Perkins will shoot 2, and then West Alabama will shoot the technicals, and then West Alabama will regain possession, since after the free throws, it'll be West Alabama basketball.
Right, that sounds like a logical way to do it.
Coach Campbell really giving the referees an earful here, and again, Deja Graves will check in.
So that's 2 of Union's best players now that have 3 fouls. That's big.
So Sams will hit the first free throw. Sams is technically the team's best free throw shooter at 70%, with 16 of 23. 2 of 2 there, so then we'll send it down here and have Perkins shoot 2.
That'll make it a 14-point game after the technical shots, but Union a chance to increase it right here.
I believe it's Union's first technical foul of the season.
That's impressive. If they made it all through the regular season without a technical foul, that's a good job by Coach Campbell teaching his girls to respond in the right way.
Perkins misses the first. So Martin will check out, Graves will check in. Martin with 3 fouls. Graves will check in with just 1. Second of 2 from Perkins, good. Perkins 1 of 2 at the line there. JP leads the team in free throw shooting at 79%. Only able to go 1 of 2 there.
15-point lead in this game just feels like 100 the way these teams have been shooting, but they've been starting to get a little better lately. More points have gotten on the board since the media timeout at the under 5 mark.
Tip stolen. And
they called a kick ball on Smith.
They called a kick ball. They'll reset the shot clock.
But they didn't call it until after she already had the ball in her hands. Late whistle there.
So here's Walker on the drive against Graves, and she
And
walked.
the travel. Lots of traveling on both sides today.
Yeah, both teams with plenty of turnovers. That's the 13th for West Alabama. 14 turnovers for Union, and quickly here's Union down the court. Beard from the far corner, long. But Perkins skies in for the rebound.
Oh, what a job on the boards, because she was nowhere close when that ball was shot. Just flies in there and gets Union a second chance.
Beautiful ball movement by the Lady Bulldogs leads to an open three by Jada Smith. And Union up now by 18.
Lady Tigers moving the ball around, and they'll settle for a jump shot, and it goes.
Tangela Walker leading this team in field goal percentage, coming in shooting 51%, gets it to go there. But on the other end, Jada Smith, too easy.
What a sweet shot she has.
Smith now with 14, leading all scorers. Only player today to score in double figures. Walker, tough shot, no good, but over the back is Bria Dent. And that'll send Jada Smith to the charity stripe to shoot 2, with Union being in the bonus.
Yeah, Smith 5 for 7 from the floor today, 1 for 2 from the three-point line. She's having a very successful day in which really everybody else has had problems getting it to go in the hoop.
And Smith now 3 of 5 from the line as she misses the first there. Smith has had a pretty good game so far, 14 points, 5 of 7 shooting, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, also has a steal. 0 of 2 from the line of Smith. That's a rarity for Smith, a 77% free throw shooter.
Smith and Field are the only players in this game, 1 for Union and 1 for West Alabama, to have scored a 1, a 2, and a 3 today.
And again, just unfortunate there is West Alabama just unable to get anything to fall here in this quarter. Smith with it. She goes over the top to Graves, help defense, but Union able to recover.
Lucky to retain possession on that play.
And Emily Beard will head to the line to shoot 2 after the foul on Dent. And for Bria Dent, that will be her 4th. So I have to play careful here. So Emily Beard will head to the line where she is 2 of 4 on the season. First of 2, good.
West Georgia maintaining that lead on West Florida. They've got it 29-20. Looks like it's at halftime.
And other scores around the conference. You got Lee at halftime against Alabama Huntsville as Beard goes 2 of 2 there. 45-36 is the scores. The Lady Flames lead the Lady Chargers. Inside, Walker against Graves. Nice power move there by Walker.
Coach Campbell wants a 2-for-1 opportunity. We'll see if they have enough time.
Beard from downtown, got it. And killed the shot clock there.
Yeah, just with the clock not stopping after the shot, West Alabama was able to wait until under 30 seconds to inbound it.
Parker from downtown, no good. Got to question the shot selection there. They did have the last shot, but when you're down by 21, I guess you just let it fire.
Yeah, I mean, 21 or 23, it's not a huge difference at the end of the third quarter.
Smith got fouled on the shot. She'll head to the line looking to redeem herself after going 0 for 2 in her last one out. First of 2, good. Union uncharacteristic for the Lady Bulldogs here today from the foul line. They're 10 of 18.
You got to convert those opportunities into points because they're free throws for a reason. Nobody's guarding you and you're open. You should be able to hit most of them.
Smith, goes 2 of 2 there, redeeming herself. Janiyah Daniels, tough shot, got it.
Wow.
And that will lead to the end of the third quarter. 10 more minutes separate the Lady Bulldogs from advancing to the Gulf South Conference semifinals. We'll find out if Union is able to do it or if West Alabama can pull off a comeback when we come back from the break here on E+ TV 6.
So I'm just going to pour it right over top.
Hey! Oh my God, I love this song!
And back we are on E+ TV 6. Heading down to the fourth quarter here. It's Union up over West Alabama 55-34 in Reagan. West Alabama just couldn't get anything to go in that third quarter.
Well, yeah, Union as well to begin the quarter. They both had trouble, but Union ended up finding their stroke late in that third quarter and able to extend that lead up to 21 points. It looks insurmountable, honestly, from the 34 that they've put up in the first three quarters. I don't know if they can get 21 in the next 10 minutes. They'll have to turn it on from deep. They'll have to hit threes. They'll have to rebound better, and they'll have to stay out of foul trouble. Dent has 4 fouls. That'll be huge coming down in the final minutes of this game.
The Lady Tigers open the fourth quarter without Dent on the court, the 5 they have. Field, Walker, Parker, Garrett Hammett, and Janiyah Daniels. And for the Lady Bulldogs, it's Perkins, Beard, Carpenter, Smith, and Graves, the 5 out there.
And you hate to start the fourth quarter without your best lineup out there, Dan. A solid starter for the Tigers. Just unable to control the fouling in the first 30 minutes of this one.
Graves can't get it to go, but she'll head to the line to shoot too.
Nice job getting it inside, dumping it to Graves, and she does a good job at getting contact and going to the free throw line.
So Graves will head back to the line where she is 1 of 2 from the charity stripe today. Missing the first there.
It's Parrish coming in for the Lady Tigers.
Second of 2. Got it.
Well, that's been the way Union has been scoring at the beginning of that third quarter, and then up to now. If they can't put a field goal in, they draw fouls and hit their free throws. Of course, that make them 12 for 20 now today.
3 is good from Mackenzie Parker. Parker has shot the ball well today. Her third 3, give her 9.
The leading scorer, I believe, for the Lady Tigers with 9 points, Parker.
Smith on the drive, count it. She'll shoot 1 more.
That's 18 for her. Nobody on the opposition in double figures, and she's approaching 20. Beard has 10, the only other person this game in double figures.
So Smith will head to the line to shoot 1 more. 1 more GSC quarterfinal score to give you as Valdosta State up 13-10 over Delta State. That game going on in Cleveland, Mississippi. Free throw rims out for Smith. Winner of that game will face the winner of this game Friday night at Samford University in Birmingham, and a turnover here over the top to Perkins. Kiss off the glass, good.
And speaking of Valdosta State, Union playing there today down in Georgia. They trail by 6 at the half, 43-37 against Valdosta State.
The men on the men's side there, the Bulldogs looking to pull off an upset there. Again, Union fell to Valdosta State earlier on the road this season. That was back in November, though, in their first game without Tyree Boykin. Union has had their highs and lows since then. Tiffany Reaches will check in for Beard.
Yeah, that would be a true upset. Valdosta, a team who has their eye already on the tournament. They're pretty sure that they have a spot, and they're just looking to improve their seeding with this conference tournament.
Regis can't connect, but Avery Carpenter, with a rebound.
Yeah, what a rebound from Carpenter. That was full extension getting that ball.
Second time, not the charm there for Regis, and Tiffany Regis has been cold from the field. 1 of 7 from downtown.
Both teams were kind of slow getting down the floor. It ended up just being a 2-on-2 for West Alabama.
Nice dish by Smith to Perkins, count it.
And that is not the kind of defensive possession you can allow as if you're the Lady Tigers. Now you're down 23 with Union going to the free throw line. They're just having a hard time getting this deficit down under 20.
Perkins will head to the line to shoot one more. She's 1 of 2 from the charity stripe today. Again, Jada Smith playing a phenomenal game as Perkins connects. Smith has 18 points on 6 of 8 shooting, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, a couple of steals.
And now that makes Perkins have 12 points. She's now in double figures, the third Lady Bulldog in double figures.
Blocked there by Carpenter. Here comes Union in transition once again. Perkins, no good, no foul call. Coach Campbell wanted a call there, didn't get it.
We'll be in 2.
On the drive there is Parrish. She can't finish, but she'll shoot 2.
Nearly got that one to fall, and that would have helped, but they'll be able to perhaps cut this deficit to 24 with 2 free throws.
So Parrish will head to the line for the first time. She's only 8 of 14 on the season, coming off of a 2-point performance at Mississippi College in her last game. Only played a couple of minutes, however, playing a lot more tonight. Martin checks in for Perkins. Two of 2 there is Parrish. Dent will check in.
Well, it's going to take a great effort from the Lady Tigers if they want to pull this off. Down 24 with just 7 to go.
Martin top of the key. And Graves called for 3 seconds in the lane. Another turnover by the Lady Bulldogs, their 15th.
You got to have that clock running in your head, know how long you've been in the lane. Sometimes time just gets away from you down there, though.
We've played 3 minutes here in the fourth quarter here at the Fred DeLay Gymnasium. Union up 63-39. Dent from the top of the key, rims in. And Bria Dent, somebody that doesn't take the 3 often, that was only her 26th 3 attempted of the season, drains her 11th.
A good job by the Tigers there, not allowing Smith that free throw line jumper that she so often knocks down.
Graves, a free throw line jumper, missing right.
Yeah, not the best offensive series from Union.
Yeah, don't think Coach Campbell wanted that shot there from Deja Graves. I believe that's the first jump shot she's taken all season. Graves with a block.
Union's getting their hands on the ball on the defensive end a lot, whether they're deflecting passes or blocking shots. They've been real active with their hands up.
Coach Campbell will take a quick timeout. We'll take one with him. It's Union up by 21 here at the Fred DeLay Gymnasium.
I'm Logan Whaley. West Tennessee This Week is your weekend look at the top stories that are affecting your life. Whether it's the new direction for public schools in Jackson, a growing economy in our part of the state, the controversy over a new jail, or the men and women who work to keep our community safe, West Tennessee This Week will cover all the stories. When leaders make decisions to affect your life, we'll be there. Join us for West Tennessee This Week, Saturday nights at 10 and Sunday mornings at 10 on NBC 39.
Get a look at Coach Campbell's huddle as we join you back on E+ TV 6. He's Reagan Smith. I'm Logan Whaley. And fourth quarter, all tied up at 8 apiece between the Lady Bulldogs and the Lady Tigers, but Union still holding on to a 21-point lead. And really, Reagan, if West Alabama wants to make a run, it's now. They have Garrett Hammond and Dent in the game, both with 4 fouls.
Yeah, well, Coach Campbell was reminding his team in the huddle. You could hear him from here. He said they have 2 guys with 4 fouls. He doesn't want people like Graves taking jump shots when you can just drive and try to draw, a defensive foul and get to the line and knock those guys out of the game. And that would really impact, West Alabama's chance to stay in this game if they had 1 or more players foul out.
Field inbounding. Tough shot from Walker, no good. Martin with the rebound. Morgan Martin only with 8 points. Reaches from downtown, can't get it to go. Reaches, again, really struggling from the field, 1 of 8.
Yeah, it just has not been her night. Fortunately, Smith and Carpenter, Perkins, and Martin have been able to pick up some of the slack.
Kim Parrish with a 3 for the Lady Tigers. Again, we've seen crazier things happen. This game not over by any stretch.
Yeah, but there will be definite improvements West Alabama would have to make, specifically shooting, that they just haven't been able to put the ball in the hoop in a consistent way today.
Martin couldn't get that one to go. Tough shot there, no good by Dent. And possession will go to the Lady Bulldogs. Beard and Perkins will check in for Reaches and Graves. So modified starting 5. Instead of Reaches, you got Beard in there. And Janiah Daniels will check in for Walker. So here's Perkins. As we approach immediate timeout.
Perkins also playing with 4 fouls, but it wouldn't be that big of a deal if she were to foul out, just get some time at the end of the game to sit on the bench and watch her team, because as it looks like right now, they will probably carry this victory into their next tournament game.
Missed there by Beard. Tough shot good by Garrett Hammett. Tasia Garrett Hammett with 7. Inside Martin. Tough shot off the glass, good. Morgan Martin, again, a quiet 10 points for her tonight, but really limited due to foul trouble. And a tough shot there, good from Bria Dent, or excuse me, that was Elaine Field.
It's 4 Union players now in double figures. When you can spread around the scoring like that, it leads to a good night.
What a pass there by Perkins, leading to a bucket there from Martin. Perkins now with 5 assists. 3 from Field in the corner. Nothing but the bottom of the net.
If the Lady Tigers had started shooting like this to begin the 3rd quarter, we'd be talking about a completely different ball game, as they're only down 15.
Martin working for it down low. And she'll draw Garrett Hammett's 5th foul, or they may call it on Janiah Daniels. It is on Daniels, that'll be her 3rd. Fortunate there for Garrett Hammett. And that'll take us to immediate timeout. Union 3 minutes, 38 seconds away from advancing to the Gulf South Conference semifinals in Birmingham, Alabama. They'll look to finish the final 3, 38 strong here on E+ TV6.
On a lawn mowing service, Propane works for you. Propane can go where you go. Tanks easily changed, no spillage, quick transition, clean burn, increased energy efficiency. Propane, the affordable, clean alternative fuel wherever you mow. Find out more about JA's ProGas. Call 422-7500. Propane, the alternative fuel that makes sense. Part of JEA today.
Back here on E+ TV6, and again, the Lady Bulldogs up by 15 here over West Alabama, but the Lady Tigers shooting 50% in the quarter. They've hit 4 threes, more than any other quarter combined. And again, West Alabama staying in this game.
Yeah, I mean, they've really turned on the shooting in the last couple minutes. You know, you just wonder how different this game would be if they had just had a percentage, you know, that was a reasonable shooting percentage in the rest of this game, because they've been able to really slowly cut it to 15.
So Union looking to use free throws here from Morgan Martin to extend this lead. Martin with 12 points, only 2 rebounds here tonight. Has 3 blocks, however. Again, Martin, an underrated aspect of her game is her defense. Has now 42 blocks on the season, which is the most in the Gulf South Conference. First of 2 good. Also with now on the season 32 steals, which is just good for over 1 a game.
I think it speaks to Martin's ability to take over a game that in just limited minutes today, she's already been able to score 14 points, which is the second highest total in the game.
14 points in 19 minutes. 3 rims out by Kim Parrish. Here's Union now going the other way. Smith inside Martin again. Tough shot, no go.
Another thing that can tell you how good Union has been shooting the ball compared to West Alabama. Union has the 3 leading scorers today.
The and one there from Elaine Field. The foul going to Emily Beard, her 3rd.
And of course, by the time I get that out of my mouth, Field becomes the 3rd highest scorer of the game.
Leading the way for this West Alabama team with 13 points. Her season high is 19 points, which was against Union the last time these 2 teams met.
Well, Field does not want to see her career end at this gym today. She's doing whatever she can to make sure she at least gets 1 more game in Birmingham.
Perkins with it.
Dangerous pass there.
They work it to the corner for Emily Beard, and Emily Beard connecting from downtown near Union's bench. Give her 13.
And a good night from her as well, contributing 13 off the bench. She's really helped Union stay afloat while Martin was out with foul trouble.
And on the defensive end, picks up her 4th foul. 4 fouls for both teams, as you see, look at the Union bench. In depth was something that Coach Campbell mentioned in the pregame show, with Kennedy Childers out indefinitely due to an injury. And again, we saw that take place against Christian Brothers. Really just an awful injury there. Knee injury as the basket good by the Lady Tigers' Bria Dent.
Yeah, Beard's been forced to play 25 minutes today. That's the reason she's been able to get 13 points and 4 fouls off the bench. Just extended playing time, but she's done well with it.
Martin smooth up and under.
I'm not sure how many steps she took, but the referees say less than 3.
And Coach Cram will take a timeout with just over 2 minutes to play. Union up big here over West Alabama. We'll be right back after these messages.
Steve Beverly's TV Classics can cure what ails you.
I watched and it got rid of my hemorrhoids.
Staying awake at night? Just watch TV Classics.
My daughter watched and she went right to sleep.
Do not watch Steve Beverly's TV Classics if bites upset your stomach. Do not watch if high drama leads to emotional distress. And do not turn on TV6 Saturday or Sunday at 7 if hillbillies give you a gallbladder attack.
Ask your doctor if Steve Beverly's Classics is right for you.
Back here on E-Plus TV6, he's Reagan Smith. I'm Logan Whaley. And Gulf South Conference quarterfinal matchup here between Union and West Alabama. Other games around the GSC, Valdosta State up 21-16 over Delta State. The winner of that game will face the winner of this game here today. West Georgia holding on to the lead over West Florida, 31-24 the score in the 3rd quarter. Lee up 10 over Alabama Huntsville, 55-45 in Cleveland. It's a shot missed there, but the offensive rebound by Garrett Hammett. She'll get fouled by Martin, and that'll be her 4th.
Yet another starter has 4 fouls. That's the second Union starter with 4 and third player total.
Crowd not liking the call. Coach Campbell not liking the call either.
Neither team has done a very good job at spreading around the fouls. 5 people, both sides combined, 5 people have 4 fouls.
Garrett Hammett, the first of 2, good. She's a perfect 4 of 4 from the charity stripe. And Garrett Hammett, the young sophomore out of LaGrange, Georgia, standing in at 5'11". Won the Gulf South Conference Freshman of the Year award last season, was on the all-tournament team to go along with it. This Lady Tiger team made it to the second round of the Gulf South Conference tournament last season.
Not good passes so far trying to break the press of the Lady Tigers. Union's been fortunate to keep the ball with 2 bad passes.
Smith on the drive, easy foul there. As Field got Smith with 2 hands, that'll be her 4th. So many players with 4 fouls. That'll be 6 players combined between these 2 teams, 3 from each.
Yeah, but the good thing is for both teams is that nobody's fouled out. They've been able to keep their star players in there, and they've been smart about failing to pick up a 5th.
First of 2 from Smith, good. Smith has struggled from the line here today. So you see the Union faithful anxiously waiting, wanting their team to make it to the semifinals. This team coming in number 2 in the South region. If they want to host the South region tournament again, they're going to need to win out and hope that Florida Southern, the number 1 team, will lose one of their games in the Sunshine State Conference tournament, which gets underway tomorrow.
Smith now with 20 points. Very productive day from her all around.
20 points, 9 boards, 7 assists. Doing it all for this Lady Bulldog team. And Smith really a late bloomer too in this game. Didn't get going until the second quarter really. A shot miss there, Martin with the rebound.
Union needed someone to step up while Martin was out, and I think Beard and Smith combined really did that job.
Coach Campbell will take a timeout for substitutions. Union again up 18, and we'll see Morgan Martin, Tiffany Regis, as well as Jada Perkins check out. So we'll see Graves, Gray, and Pratt check in. Tangela Walker checking in for Mackenzie Parker. So you see the Union fans giving these 3 players a standing ovation, and they deserve it. Great outings for all 3 of these players, looking to extend their season. Smith with it. We'll just look to burn off time here. Under a minute to play.
And in all likelihood, this will probably be the last time that we get to see at this gym Jada Perkins, point guard for Union.
Again, it's possible. You never know how the South Region tournament will shake out. As a nice move there by Tasia Garrett Hammett. We'll see a timeout there from Coach Cram, but we'll keep it right here on E+ TV 6. Really, when you look all around at this game, and Elaine Field, again, playing a phenomenal game here for West Alabama, but Lady Tigers, too little too late in this quarter. They've scored 26 points in this quarter alone, but at the end of the day, the Lady Bulldogs, hot shooting, and they got the right players to step up at the right time.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's only a 16-point game, but with 43 seconds, there's just no way to make up that deficit. And there's just nothing that Western Alabama can do to get back in this game. It's just too late, despite the shooting spree they've been on in this quarter.
So you look at scores around the Gulf South Conference. In the quarterfinal games, Valdosta State takes a 26-18 lead over Delta State into the locker room. On the men's side, Valdosta State and Union really close there, 55-54 in favor of Valdosta State with just under 13 to play in the second half. West Georgia still holding on to that lead over West Florida, 34-28 the score with under 4 minutes to play in the third quarter. And then in Cleveland, Tennessee, Lee extending their lead over Alabama Huntsville, 61-45 is the score. Taylor Bogus leading the way with 17 points for Lee. And again, Lee, a scary team to face in this Gulf South Conference tournament. West Florida starting to storm back. They're only down 3. Tony Brewer with 20 points and 13 rebounds for West Florida. That is a matchup nightmare for any team in this tournament.
Yeah, West Florida has won 13 in a row. I was reading an NCAA.com article about 5 teams in Division II women's basketball you don't want to face right now. They were one of those 5.
And again, they don't just have Neiman and They don't just have Neiman and Brewer. They also have Anna Hall, somebody that really does it all for that team. Not really a prolific scorer, but rebounds well, passes well. One of the tops on the team in assists. To go along with rebounding. Late foul there. They'll send Jada Smith to the line.
It's always a good thing when you can spread around the scoring and not have to rely on one player to carry you, because say that player has a bad game, then your team, of course, has a bad game. But it's less likely when you have 3 or 4 very good players that they'll all have bad games at the same time.
So Bria Dent fouls out. Kim Parrish check in, and that is an incredible freshman campaign for Bria Dent. Dent, a 4-time Gulf South Conference Freshman of the Week, had 9 double-doubles this season, 3 in her last 5 games, had 5 in a row in January, and again, one of the premier players. A lot to look forward to for this West Alabama team with Garrett Hammond at Dent. They do graduate a couple of guards as Smith can't connect on the second free throw. They do graduate Elaine Field. They graduate Morgan Sams. They'll graduate Mackenzie Parker, Latangela Walker, Sydney Bozeman, Kim Parrish, Chloe Culpepper. This is a senior-led team, but again, Coach Cram looking to rebuild.
Yeah, both sides in this game really veteran teams who have been together for a while and know what they're doing.
And again, with the injuries to Culpepper and Bozeman, you got to wonder if they will be back next year due to a red shirt. So that's something to keep an eye out on for next year. Union will dribble out the clock here, and they will advance to the Gulf South Conference semifinals. As the clock winds down, the Lady Bulldogs advance to the Gulf South Conference semifinals. They win tonight over West Alabama 77-60. Union improves to 27-2 on the season. For West Alabama, their season ends at 11-18. They will play the winner of Valdosta State and Delta State. Valdosta State currently up 8 over the Lady Statesmen. We'll see if that holds, and if it does, that game will be played at Birmingham, Alabama at Samford University. That's coming up March 9th. And oh goodness, you don't want to see that. You don't want to see that on the field. We get the camera off of that, and again, this Union team will play, again, looks like either Valdosta or Delta State. Again, you don't want to see that on the court. Oh my goodness, Elaine Field. You hope she's okay. But either way, previewing the final of this game, and the story is Jada Smith with 21 points, 9 rebounds, and 7 assists. Played a phenomenal game. Morgan Martin with 16 points. Emily Beard with 13, Jada Perkins with 12. That told the whole story. And Coach Cram going to call his team back out there for a post-game prayer. And we'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll have Union head coach Mark Campbell for a post-game interview. But what a performance by the Lady Bulldogs tonight. They use a dominant first quarter. 24-10 was the score after the first quarter, and Union never really looked back. They did struggle with foul trouble with Perkins, Martin, Reachus at one point. Emily Beard wound up with 4 fouls as well. But overall, phenomenal performance by the Lady Bulldogs. And again, this is a team that is looking to make a run in this Gulf South Conference tournament. So when we come back, we'll have Coach Campbell for the post-game interview. Stay tuned.
When I first came to Union, it was already like March or April of my senior year, and I hadn't decided where I wanted to go. I was looking at big Christian schools, small Christian schools, even state schools. I didn't want a Christian school that would just hide me away from the world and like just teach me to live within a Christian environment that hasn't shielded me from secular beliefs or opinions or ideas, but it's taught me how to think about it through Christian lenses. There's so many things I love about Union. One of them is definitely the professors. They have all taken such a personal interest in my growth, and they have all been very, very dedicated to helping me grow both as a Christian and as a student. If I had to sum it up in one word, I would definitely say opportunity. It's given me so many chances to be a leader in different clubs and organizations. It's given me the chance to expand professionally, to build my portfolio. It's given me a chance to pursue my own interests and passions, and it's just been an extremely encouraging and empowering environment.
Gig, 1,000 megabit speed, now available to any E+ broadband internet customer. This gig-enhanced infrastructure has the capacity to increase speeds in the future. E+ broadband, What many interpreted as JA's entrance into cable television was actually the foundation of an unparalleled communications infrastructure. Looking out for Jackson's economic and lifestyle future is all a part of JEA today.
Back here on E+ TV6, it's a final. The Lady Bulldogs of Union advance to the Gulf South Conference semifinals at Samford University in Birmingham. I'm joined by the winning head coach, Coach Mark Campbell. And Coach, first off, your team off to a hot start there in the first quarter, outscoring them 24-10, and really defensively there, it was a really good performance for your team.
Yeah, I thought we defended pretty well until the fourth, and so we didn't press as much this time against them. We're limited on some numbers, and I thought Deja Graves did a great job during the second quarter coming in, and even a part of the third when Morgan got the technical. I thought it was really good how we executed, and we didn't shoot the free throws very well tonight. We didn't shoot very well from three tonight. Thought Emily Beard came off the bench and had some big plays, and obviously JS was pretty consistent throughout. So, well, this is one of those ones where you're just glad you can advance.
Absolutely, but you look at the bench play of your team tonight, especially with your starters getting in foul trouble there early in the first half, really having to rely on players like Emily Beard and even Avery Carpenter getting a start tonight due to the injury to Kennedy Childers. Really played well there in that first half. What do you have to say about those bench players, and especially with Avery Carpenter too?
Listen, Avery Carpenter's been one of the most consistent people on our team the past month, and so it's been a big difference in our team, her being able to come in and provide a lot of things, making threes, defending, handling the ball some, rebounding, getting us some steals. She had a couple of times tonight, we're not even pressing, she traps anyway, and it causes some havoc. And so she's been a big plus for us.
And you look at the performance of Jada Smith tonight, really doing it all, scoring with 21 points, added 9 rebounds and 7 assists as well. And especially had a bit of a slow start there in the first quarter, but really played well the rest of the game. What was the key to her getting going tonight?
Yeah, I think she's just taking more responsibility for our team. Last maybe 2 weeks, and again, last game I think it was pretty simple. I think she had 8 and 7 or something last game. So there's just some consistency. There were 3 or 4 players didn't play very well tonight. In order for us to get where we want to be, there's got to be some consistency 1 through 8 to do that.
And now looking ahead, and again, we don't know if it's going to be Valdosta State or Delta State. We know Valdosta's up 8 at the half. Looking ahead now to a neutral site game at Samford University, what does your team need to do to pull out a win in the semifinal game?
We just got to play consistently better, get better defensively. For the most part tonight, I thought we were a lot better defensively than we've been in the last couple of weeks. So just a step at a time, learning from one thing to the next and not having it carry over, having a very short memory when it comes to our mistakes.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, congratulations on the win.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, there you have it. There's the head coach of the Union Lady Bulldogs, Coach Mark Campbell. His Lady Bulldogs pick up the huge victory tonight, 77-60. Union jumped out to a 24-10 advantage in the first quarter and never looked back. Jada Smith, a player of the game tonight, 21 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists. The junior guard did it all for the Lady Bulldogs tonight, and really a great performance all around for Union. Didn't really have a whole lot of depth there, especially with Morgan Martin getting into foul trouble, but at the end of the day, a great performance all around for the Lady Bulldogs. They will face the winner of Valdosta State and Delta State at Samford University in Birmingham, Alabama. That will be Friday. But coming up next, Reagan and I will break down the final stats, and we'll give you a preview of what's next for Union coming up after this.
So I'm just going to pour it right over top of you.
Hey! Oh my God, I love this song!
Want to make your life a little easier? Now you can manage your Jackson Energy Authority account online. View statements, pay your bill, set up reminders, or recurring payments. Spend more time with your family, not your bills. It's easy. Just visit www.jaxenergy.com anytime and sign up. Make your life a little easier with online bill pay from Jackson Energy Authority.
If you watch Steve Beverly's TV classics, you may get a snack.
What do you say we toast some marshmallows, huh?
It's with your host,
Big Steve.
Some people watch even if they don't like the host.
Big Steve notwithstanding.
What do smart viewers think?
Oh, Mr. B, you're just a doozy.
Steve Beverly's TV classics, Saturday and Sunday from 7 to 10 on TV6.
Propane, 95% generated in the U.S. is a gas that works anywhere. Central tanks for fleets, vehicles, portable tanks for forklifts, lawnmowers, the fuel you can take anywhere. Even backup generation runs off propane, household appliances, outdoor features. To find out more about affordable, clean, versatile propane, contact JEA's ProGas, 422-7500, the alternative fuel that makes sense. Propane, part of JEA today.
I'm Logan Whaley. West Tennessee This Week is your weekend look at the top stories that are affecting your life. Whether it's the new direction for public schools in Jackson, a growing economy in our part of the state, the controversy over a new jail, or the men and women who work to keep our community safe, West Tennessee This Week will cover all the stories. When leaders make decisions to affect your life, we'll be there. Join us for West Tennessee This Week, Saturday nights at 10 and Sunday mornings at 10 on NBC 39.
Steve Beverly's TV Classics can cure what ails you.
I watched and it got rid of my hemorrhoids.
Staying awake at night? Just watch TV Classics.
My daughter watched, and she went right to sleep.
Do not watch Steve Beverly's TV Classics if bites upset your stomach. Do not watch if high drama leads to emotional distress. And do not turn on TV6 Saturday or Sunday at 7 if hillbillies give you a gallbladder attack.
Ask your doctor if Steve Beverly's Classics is right for you.
And back here on E Plus TV 6, again, it's a final. The Lady Bulldogs advance to the semifinals of the Gulf South Conference Tournament. They knock off West Alabama 77-60 is your final score. He's Reagan Smith. I'm Logan Whaley. And again, what a performance we saw from the Lady Bulldogs tonight. Now, granted, West Alabama did outscore Union 26-21 in the fourth quarter, but again, Union was able to use solid defense and great transition offense in the first three quarters to really take the lead and never look back. And Reagan, when you look at this performance, you really look at, well, a couple things. One, the balanced scoring from the Lady Bulldogs, especially when their key players went into foul trouble, and two, the defensive effort from Union tonight.
Definitely, yes. Smith putting up 20 was a huge deal. Lots of minutes from Beard. She was able to contribute 13. That was a nice unexpected boost off the bench. I would say this effort was decent from Union. They can do better, but a 17-point win is not bad by any means. But you know, you just want more output generally from kind of all around. You know, you wonder, could they have beaten the other top teams in the conference with this game? Maybe. And you want Union to be able to win those games.
And again, Union now, they sweep West Alabama in the season. They go 3-0 against the Lady Tigers. Beat them twice in the regular season. They beat them here a third time here tonight. They'll face the winner of Valdosta State and Delta State. And again, just to give you an update on that game, Valdosta State up 26-18 at the end of the first half. Valdosta State shooting 42% from the field. Delta State only at 30%. So again, you never know who you're going to face in the semifinals. But again, Birmingham, Alabama, Samford University, always a fun time, and it's going to be a fun atmosphere there. But you look at this game, and as we look at the final stats here, Union shot the ball extremely well from the field, 45%. But again, the three-point percentages you see there, only 7 of 25 from downtown. Union also 18 of 29 from the free throw line. And again, 62%. West Alabama 11 of 14. But the defense there, 21 of 62 was West Alabama from the field, 7 of 22 from three. The rebounding battle was won easily by Union, 41-31, including 12 offensive rebounds for Union, able to capitalize for just 7 second-chance points, however. Both teams with 15 turnovers. Union able to capitalize for 15 points off of those turnovers. But again, you look at that, and Union able to play stout defense there from the first three quarters. Again, you look at quarter by quarter. West Alabama, 10 points in the first quarter, 30% shooting from the field. Second quarter, 5 of 18, 28% from the field. Third quarter, 10 points, 25% from the field, 4 of 16. So really, it's that defense that Union employed. Even through foul trouble, they were able to use their bench depth to their advantage tonight.
Right, and also with Graves coming off the bench, helping Union to out-rebound a team who was fourth in the conference in rebounding, second in offensive rebounding, able to beat them in both of those categories. Really, that is what set Union apart in this game from West Alabama in the 17-point win.
And again, you look at the top scorers for Union, 21 points for Smith, 16 for Martin in only 22 minutes, 13 for Beard off the bench, and 12 for Perkins, 8 from Carpenter and 3 from Reaches, 4 from Graves to go along with 9 rebounds. Graves had a big role off the bench tonight, 2 blocks as well. But we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we'll give you a rundown of how things are going in the Gulf South Conference quarterfinals, and then we'll wrap things up here at the desk. Don't go anywhere.
Steve Beverly's TV Classics can cure what ails you.
I watched and it got rid of my hemorrhoids.
Staying awake at night? Just watch TV Classics.
My daughter watched and she went right to sleep.
Do not watch Steve Beverly's TV Classics if fights upset your stomach. Do not watch if high drama leads to emotional distress. And do not turn on TV6 Saturday or Sunday at 7 if hillbillies give you a gallbladder attack.
Ask your doctor if Steve Beverly's Classics is right for you.
Want to make your life a little easier? Now you can manage your Jackson Energy Authority account online. View statements, pay your bill, set up reminders, or recurring payments. Spend more time with your family, not your bills. It's easy. Just visit www.jaxenergy.com anytime and sign up. Make your life a little easier with online bill pay from Jackson Energy Authority.
You wouldn't do that. So why do you do this? Distracted driving kills an average of 9 people and injures over 1,000 every day in America. Put down your phone. Lives depend on it. Don't drive intoxicated. Don't drive intoxicated. A sobering message from AAA.
I'm Logan Whaley. West Tennessee This Week is your weekend look at the top stories that are affecting your life. Whether it's the new direction for public schools in Jackson, a growing economy in our part of the state, the controversy over a new jail, or the men and women who work to keep our community safe, West Tennessee This Week will cover all the stories. When leaders make decisions to affect your life, we'll be there. Join us for West Tennessee This Week, Saturday nights at 10 and Sunday mornings at 10 on NBC 39.
Back we are on E+ TV6. Reagan Smith, Logan Whaley, and the Lady Bulldogs advance to the Gulf South Conference semifinal. 77-60 is the final score here tonight. Scores around the Gulf South Conference. Lee likely going to move on to the semifinals. They're up 86-53 over Alabama Huntsville. Under 3 minutes to go there in the fourth quarter. Then you got West Georgia and West Florida. Tight one there in Pensacola. West Florida with a 1-point lead, 40-39 with just over 4.5 minutes to go. Third quarter just getting underway at Cleveland, Mississippi. It's the Lady Blazers up 30-25 over Delta State. And on the men's side, Union trailing 86-68 with under 4 minutes to play in the second half. But that's going to do it for us here at the desk here tonight. Again, Lady Bulldogs, 21 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists from Jada Smith. Lady Bulldogs advance to the Gulf South Conference semifinals in Birmingham, Alabama at Samford University. And again, Valdosta State or Delta State, we'll know by the end of the night who the Lady Bulldogs will face in the semifinals. That will be Friday, March 9th. You can head over to gscsports.com for a live stream information there. But that's going to do it for us here at the desk. And this is our last broadcast of the season. Again, I want to thank everybody at Worthy Road Studios. Paul Scholze, Lawson Mann, executive producer Steve Beverly, the entire crew at Worthy Road Studios. For Reagan Smith, Alex Northcutt, Alexander Bitterling, Michael Chapman, Jackson Milner, so many other color commentators we've had. I'm Logan Whaley, and it has been an absolute pleasure to call games for Union basketball this season. I appreciate you, the viewers, for bringing us into your home. Good night.